Lost 5 of their last 6. One of the bright spots last night in the defeat to Nanaimo was the pitching of Jack Galanita. Now, we've been calling him Galanita. That was our original interpretation of the young man out of Lake Balboa, California's name. But during the course of the conversation, which is coming up next, you will hear Jack, and he is right to make the correction on the fly. So we get to know Jack Galanita out of Southern California, pitching at George Fox, getting ready for his senior year. A pleasure to visit with a young man who will join me after this 2-minute break on the night's live stream and Joe Radio.
Fans, if your new sports team would like to be our Field of Dreams team and join the Knights on the field before a game, visit CorvallisKnights.com for more information and to book your name. Fans, the on-field dash for cash will take place after the 4th inning. If your kids want to participate, please make sure you fill out a waiver for them at the table outside the main gates. We will ask that all participants meet night staffers at the statue outside the main gates at the end of the 3rd inning. All kids ages 10 and younger are invited to participate. No parents will be allowed to leave their child on the field during the event. Fans, make sure you follow your hometown team all season long on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and anywhere else you think you might be able to find them. You take any pictures, make sure you post them and tag us, and you can find your way on your uniform in a future game.
Kind of a cloudy, blustery evening at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. A great night for baseball and for the Knights to kind of get out of a little bit of a funk, at least for this year's standards and the organizational standards through the years. I know all of the guys are all in to get out of that little bit of a funk. It's a long season, and I'm sure that tonight will begin kind of a different kind of streak as we welcome you into our pregame show here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Mike Parker, honored to be joined by a pitcher who's really pitching well. It's been fun to watch Jack Galanita at work. Jack, it's nice to meet you. Welcome to Corvallis and the Knights. How are you enjoying your experience here so far?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Honestly, it's been a really good time just getting out to play baseball every day. It's such a blessing. Just so grateful for that. Just grateful for the opportunity to be here, be a Corvallis Knight. I mean, honestly, no better place to play baseball than in Goss in summer, you know?
How did it come about? I mean, who said, hey, this is where you ought to go for the summer?
Yeah, so it was really just a conversation with me and my head coach, Kevin Koppel, at school. I was asking about places to play summer ball, and he threw out the Knights, and I was kind of surprised. More of like, not surprised, but a little bit like in awe, like kind of spooked a little bit.
Yeah.
And then when he said I could go, I was kind of stoked from there, and was looking forward to it pretty much all year.
Jack Galanita joining me. Were you thus then aware?
Galanita.
Galanita, you know, everybody,
Galanita.
I was told it was Nida. No, hey, I'm glad to get corrected. I was told, and I think when you come into games, it's been announced Nida, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So I will make the correction upstairs. My apologies. Jack Galanita. I've learned something important here tonight, and I appreciate it. So, Jack, did you know, were you aware of the Knights kind of being, a really good summer program?
Yeah, so three of the last 4 years, I'm pretty sure we've had guys from my school come out here, being Caleb Debin, Mike Singleton. We've just had those last 3 guys have been here, so I feel like in our program, like as pitchers, you get sent to the Knights if you performed, I guess, per se.
Okay.
But yeah, just kind of came about. I was really grateful for the opportunity. Happy that Koppel thought of me with this opportunity. And yeah.
It's good to have you here. Jack Galanita joining me on our pregame show. Jack, how did the opportunity for Coach Koppel and George Fox come about? You're a SoCal kid your entire life. You end up in Newberg, Oregon. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I was really just hunting for a 4-year school my senior year, more my junior going into my senior year, just hunting for a 4-year school. I was sending a lot of emails out, and out of the 300 some odd emails I sent out, George Fox was the only one to respond. And Coach Brandon Rupp, my pitching coach now, he told me I liked my breaking ball, and it kind of just took off from there.
So when you say you send out 300 emails, I assume with video attachments of your stuff, is that so you sent your stuff out to other people as opposed to people coming to see you in high school games? Was it a combination of both or what?
Yeah, no, I'd say it was definitely more me sending my stuff out. I wouldn't say I was a sought after prospect in my high school days, so I really had to do my part in working hard to getting my name out there, getting recruited. But yeah, I found a coach that really believed in me, and honestly haven't looked back since. I love my time at George Fox.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, it's a great program, and our head coach at Oregon State began his coaching career there. I refer to Pat Casey, 3 national championships here. You're kind of in the house that Casey built, playing at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. So baseball, it seems like, tell me a little bit about, if you know anything about the Casey legacy, but also how important baseball is at George Fox.
I mean, yeah, I'm not too well known or well versed, about the history, but I mean, baseball at George Fox means a lot. Like just the brotherhood we built there, just throughout the 3 years. I've had brothers that I will be talking to for the rest of my life, no matter what. Like, it's really blossomed a lot of my friendships, a lot of my relationships, and other than just being a baseball player, it really teaches you like how to be a man and how to be a well liked, but a well-respected citizen in the world. And yeah, I feel like just playing baseball with class at George Fox just leads you to live a life of class and outside the field.
The most important thing probably in the long run. You've just touched on Jack Galanita with me a little bit longer. Pitcher out of George Fox, but also out of Crespi Carmelite High School with a hometown listed as Lake Balboa. Now that has puzzled me a little bit during the live stream broadcast because, Jack, I'd never heard of it till I wrote it down for you. You've already off the air kind of located it for me in my mind. But could you maybe share, okay, where exactly is Lake Balboa, and is there really a Lake Balboa?
Yeah, so Lake Balboa it's pretty much just a man-made lake in the middle of the Van Nuys area. So I'd say it's just a little more north of Van Nuys, closer to Northridge, Reseda area, if you know the LA area, the greater Los Angeles area. Yeah, so it's pretty small, I'd say pretty a niche neighborhood. It's not too big, but as you know, a lot of Los Angeles suburbs are just pretty small, but LA is a huge place, so it's
and they're all kind of together. I mean, they do. Is Lake Balboa a recreational lake? I mean, was it man-made so people can get out and water ski and swim and all that? Do you play on Lake Balboa?
I mean, not really. Okay. Like, I know you can. I've never gone out there. Me and my family have never gone out there. But funny thing you asked about that, my dad has recently been looking into getting a kayak, he told me, so he can go take it out on the lake. And I was,
okay.
It just kind of makes me chuckle because it's like I've never heard of my family ever like actually using the Lake Balboa, so that just kind of made me laugh. It was kind of a funny tidbit.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because if I ever meet him, I'm going to, we have kayaks and we take him out on the Willamette River here, so he'll get some good use out of the lake that way, I'm sure. By the way, speaking of that, do your folks get to come up to see you at Fox? Have they been up here yet this summer?
They haven't been up to Corvallis just yet. I mean, my parents are two busy people. They do a lot back home, but yeah, they've been up to a few series at Fox and Newberg. They enjoy their time, and it's kind of hard for me to see them and hang out with them outside because we're there for a doubleheader on Saturday and our Sunday games. So only time we can really hang out with them is after then. But other than that, I love my family. They're the most supportive group of people I have in my life. I don't know where I would be without my dad in baseball. I don't know where I'd be with my mom in life. So yeah.
Last thing then, Jack. You're getting ready for your senior year. What kind of degree have you been pursuing? What kind of goals do you have beyond college?
Yeah, so I'm currently studying communications with a business minor. I'm working towards, hopefully I'm gonna go piggyback off my mom and work in the music video industry. Just for hopefully do that for a little bit, and then I also want to dip my feet into the real estate industry, and just try to just get a lot of like work done. Try to get a lot of experience early in my life, so I can, because I'm not really too sure what I really want to end up doing, but I just want to get a lot of experience early and find a passion, I'd say, outside of baseball.
And in the meantime, you're just looking forward to enjoying the rest of the summer with the Knights, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Jack, it's great to meet you. Thank you for the name correction. We'll get it right the rest of the summer. Sorry that it's taken us so long.
Thank you, Mike.
Great to meet you. Thanks for the time, and congratulations on the season so far. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you. That's Jack Galanito, my pregame show guest. We've got it now, Galanito. We're going to take a break and come back with the first pitch of tonight's ball game. Back in 2 minutes, it's the opener of a 3-game series. The Knights in Edmonton coming up. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
We ask that you please remain standing for the playing of the United States national anthem.
And the Edmonton Riverhawks and the Corvallis Knights. I need to call an audible here. Maybe not. They're hustling over. It looks like somebody from the press box crew, and you can go ahead and kill microphone 2 for now. These are on-air live instructions, directions. I'm hardly a director or producer, believe me, unlike Jack Alanita's mother, who apparently is. Thank you very much. I will learn more about her as we go forward. Certainly enjoyed the conversation with Jack. But if she were here, she could coordinate and produce, because she's worked with the likes of Lady Gaga and many other notables in producing music videos. She certainly could handle making sure that the stats pages, which I left inside the press box a little while ago, and kind of a harried night for yours truly thus far. It's nice to be settling in that respect. A little bit like the late Pete Rose. Whatever your opinion of Pete, and I know that we're talking about a wide spectrum when it comes to that. He did give his all on the baseball field as a player, certainly. He's one of those few who would go on exhibition games with the big club and play all 9 innings, as he did on a couple of occasions playing against the Portland Beavers as a member of the parent club, Portland Phillies. And he's to be respected for that. But during the midst of the investigation by the late Bartlett Giamatti into the gambling allegations and the ultimate finding of Pete felt like, okay, I'll be out of baseball, but there will be no finding that I gambled. Bart Giamatti essentially said, yes, well, he's out of baseball because he gambled. And Pete felt betrayed by that. He thought he had an agreement along different lines. That's a whole different story and a long and complicated story. All to say that Pete said the only time of peace sometimes that he had in his life, the only time of peace were the 2.5, 3 hours at the ballpark once the game started. So here we go, seeking peace, Grayson Writing, not necessarily living vicariously through him, but glad to be at the ballpark and settling in on a breezy, cooler evening than we've been experiencing. The first pitch from Grayson misses to Drew Veach, and we are underway. Thanks for joining us. The 1-0 pitch from the Oregon State pitcher-to-be is down and away, ball 2. 2-0 to Drew Veach, leading things off for the Edmonton Riverhawks, who come in with a record of 6-11, having just dropped 3 of 4 at Wenatchee. Writing's 2-0 fastball swung out and missed by the right-hand hitting Veach. 2 balls and 1 strike. Drew out of Andover, Kansas, with a count of 2-1. And part of the harrowing, busy, harried kind of day is the more accurate word. Have not been able to do the usual research on all of the players. I will have it all dialed in tomorrow, I promise you. So I don't know where Drew Veach goes to college. It just says he's going to be a senior, and his hometown is Andover, Kansas. As I go tonight, he hits a ground ball to third, fielded by Trey Swigert. Trey throws across to first base for the out. I'll try to do some cursory research as we go, but have it ready to go tomorrow for Game 2. So my apologies to those of you tuning our way from Edmonton, and those of you who are Corvallis Knights fans wanting to learn a little bit more about just who are these guys coming in. It is on me to not have it ready quite yet, but we'll have it all going tomorrow. The pitch to Shido Sato, belted to deep left center field. Max Medina goes back along with Kellen Siegel. The ball lands between them, and Sato pulls into second base, crushing a double into the alley in left center field. Nice piece of hitting, extending the arms for Shido Sato, coming in at .295, his 3rd double this summer, a homer, and 8 runs batted in. That'll bring to the plate Chris Parkin. Parkin is out of Vancouver, USA, playing for the Edmonton Riverhawks. A 1-out double for Shido Sato. Parkin at the plate with a chance to drive in a run here in the top of the first inning. Writing's change misses high and inside, ball 1. 1-0 to Chris Parkin. So it's Drew Veach in center, Shido Sato in the 2-hole at short. Parkin batting third at the plate now, the third baseman for the Riverhawks. Omar Gonzalez, the cleanup hitter at first base. Jason Green batting 5th and catching. Finnegan Stewart hitting 6th and right. Writing's 1-0 pitch is high, ball 2. 2-0. Batting 7th, the designated hitter for Edmonton, Cale Clark. Max Stagg hitting 8th in left field. Cole Kreitzel batting 9th at second base, and Derek DeVos on the mound. A 1-out double for Shido Sato. He's at second, no score, just getting underway. Sato hopping away from the bag at second. Writing delivers a 2-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike, and the count 2-1. For the Knights defensively, a battery of Grayson Writing and Xavier Rios, with Ethan Porter at first, Ian Draper at second, Joey Morosco at short, and Trey Swigert at third. The 2-1 pitch is in there for a strike from Grayson, and that evens the count at 2-2. Had the pleasure of at least getting to say hello and shake Joey's dad. I've been calling him Joey Morosco's dad. I didn't have a name to attach to it. Was able to meet James Morosco just before the game tonight. Look forward to further conversations. Kellen Siegel in left, Max Medina in center, Ryan Severns in right. Writing's 2-2 breaking ball, a grounder to third. Trey Swigert up with it, tosses across to Ethan Porter. Sato holds at second. 2 down in the top of the first inning. And Omar Gonzalez will be the hitter. A young man getting ready for his senior year. He is out of Salinas. So about the only thing I could do until all the research is properly done, and time just didn't permit. Usually in the sort of off season in my own life, there's a little more time to do deeper dives on things such as, hey, who are you playing tonight? Well, the Edmonton Riverhawks. What do you know about them? Well, about all I can tell you right now is Omar Gonzalez is from Salinas and getting ready for his senior year. I've got some numbers on Omar. He takes a strike in the count 0-1. 2 outs, Sato at second, top of the first inning, no score. Omar at 278, a homer, and 4 runs batted in. Grayson Riding peering into Xavier Rios. Sato at second with 2 down. And the strike 1 pitch, punched foul off to the right towards the Jack Riley concourse just below the Omaha room. And the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Omar, hitting 278 as he stands in, appearing in his 14th game this summer for the Riverhawks. He'll come in with a record of 6-11 and the Knights at 9-9. The estimable Brooks Hatch, who has been the Knights Director of Communications since their beginning here, says he's never seen the Knights at 9-9. Breaking ball gets away on a swing and a miss for strike 3. The ball chased down by Xavier Rios. Is that being called a foul ball or no swing or what? I thought the hitter went around and apparently did not, so I thought the inning should be over. It's a check swing. The ball gets through Xavier Rios. It took Xavier a long time to locate the ball, and it goes as a wild pitch, ball 1, and Shido Sato advances to third. 1-2 to Omar Gonzalez. Grayson Riding delivers, ground ball to the left of the night shortstop Joey Marasco. Good play, but then he throws the ball by Ethan Porter. And coming down the line to score is Sato. So a couple of, in a series here this week. One of the roughest weeks I've seen in Knights baseball since they moved here in 2007. They haven't gotten a win this week. And strange things have gone on. Just when it appears the Knights have kind of gotten back into form and turned the corner. I mean, even here, I thought that a strike 3 could have been called conceivably on Omar Gonzalez. Instead, he hits a ball wide of Joey Marasco to Joey's left. Joey did a good job to get to it, but then was not able to throw Gonzalez out. It goes as an infield single and an RBI and a 1-0 lead for Edmonton. But these are the kinds of things, just when it appears the Knights will get out of an inning or have the bases loaded and nobody out and add to a lead, the things that they have executed so well through all of their history. It just hasn't been happening on a consistent basis. Now a 1-hopper to the hole at short. Marasco gets leather on it, knocks it down, but has no play anywhere. And so instead of an inning-ending force play possibly, we'll have to wait and see how Brooks Hatch scores this. Brooks has tough decisions to make, as all official scorers do. That ball was hit hard, but Marasco 2 plays in a row has had the glove on the ball, one to his left, one to his right. In both instances, the official scorer, Brooks, calls it a base hit. And so Edmonton still up there, runners at first and second, 2 down. Finnegan Stewart takes inside, ball 1, 1-0. Finnegan looking for a 2-out hit, appearing in his 7th game, 3 runs batted in, hitting .261. 1 ball and no strikes to Stewart. Riding to the plate, breaking ball foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Knights right-hander Grayson Riding appearing in his 3rd game. He looked very solid in Bend in his start last weekend. He's worked 5 2/3 innings, has a save, 5 hits coming into this start, 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. 2 on, 2 out, a run in. Fastball high, a back pick down to first, and sprawling back in safely, Jason Green. A good idea from Xavier Rios, but Green able to get back in safely. A run and 3 hits in the inning. 3 balls and 1 strike to the right-hand hitting Finnegan Stewart. Riding to the plate, foul back. And that evens the count, at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 on and 2 out and a run in the top of the first inning. 3:30 down both lines at the home of the Knights and the Oregon State Beavers. 365 to the Alleys. 400 feet to straightaway center. This ballpark and where the Riverhawks play have something in common. The 2-2 breaking ball punched foul into the stands to the right. In that, it's my understanding that the ballpark that the Riverhawks now play in, Remax Field, formerly Telus Field, formerly John Ducey Park, formerly Diamond Park, maybe some other names along the way, but that where home plate now is and the configuration of the stadium essentially the same since 1907. The 2-2 pitch high and inside to Finnegan Stewart, ball 3-2. And that, of course, is the year that home plate was set down in the very spot that it has remained in on this piece of land since 1907, rendering Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, this ballpark, the oldest ballpark in continuous use in America. The runners go. The 3-2 fastball swung out and missed. Strike 3 to end the inning. A good start for Grayson Whiting in a sense. A couple of infield singles. He does give up a run on the 3 hits, but gets a strikeout with 2 on. And at the end of half an inning, it is Edmonton nothing. The Knights coming up. To get caught up a little bit, we're going to take a 2-minute pitching change break. I have business to conduct in the press box, so we'll kill that mic, please, and we'll be back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pups got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Fans, the on-field dash for cash will take place after the 4th inning. If your kids want to participate, please make sure you fill out a waiver for them at the table outside the main gates. We will ask that all participants meet night staffers at the staff sheet outside the main gates at the end of the 3rd inning. All kids ages 10 and younger are allowed to participate. No parents will be allowed to accompany their child on field during the event.
One nothing Edmonton as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Corvallis Knights in game 1 of this 3-game series with the Edmonton Riverhawks. Leading off in center field, Max Medina. Batting second at first base, Ethan Porter. Trey Swigert batting third at third base. Ian Draper, the cleanup hitter, at second base. Ryan Severns batting fifth in right field. Derek DeVos goes to work, and Derek's first pitch misses high to Max, ball 1. 1-0. Josh Natai hitting sixth, the DH. Xavier Rios batting seventh and catching. Kellen Siegel hitting eighth and left. Joey Morosco batting ninth at short. Grayson Whiting has been touched for a run in the top of this first inning. The 1-0 pitch to Medina, the team's leading hitter at .356, in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Bryce Reeves calling balls and strikes. Jackson Clark on the base paths. The 1-1 pitch from the big right-hander Derek Devos misses inside, ball 2. Derek 6'3", 190 out of Magnolia, Texas. Kicks and comes with a 2-1 pitch, pulled foul. And like Sadak in search of the waters of oblivion, it appears as though some people found those waters of oblivion and were completely oblivious to the fact that a line drive was coming their way into the Jack Riley concourse. And no idea they were this close to a conk on the head. It wouldn't have felt good, but it landed safely away from humanity. The pitch on the way to Max Medina swung out and missed. Strike 3, 1 away, and Ethan Porter will be the hitter, playing in his 5th game and is yet to taste victory with the Corvallis Knights. Ethan is off to a good start, swinging the bat through 4 games. He's hitting .353 with a couple of runs batted in. He takes the first pitch from Derek Devos down and away, ball 1, 1-0. He's also stolen 3 bases, 3 more than he stole for Oregon State during the spring. But 0-4 in a Corvallis Knights uniform, and I know Ethan and the guys want to change all of that here tonight. But they're trailing 1-0 early. The 1-0 pitch from Devos misses high, ball 2, 2-0. Derek Devos and Drew Veach, the battery for the Riverhawks. Omar Gonzalez at first, Cole Kreitzel at second, Shido Satow at short, Chris Parkin at third, Max Stagg in left, Drew Veach in center, Finnegan Stewart in right. Devos to the plate and misses again, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Cooled considerably today, down into the low 70s at the start of the game with considerable breezes blowing. The 3-0 pitch high and inside to Ethan Porter for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Ethan, and he has been looking to run, has been very aggressive on the base paths. He represents the tie and run. We'll see if indeed he's looking to try to get a jump on Derek Devos here in the bottom of the first, with the Knights trailing 1-0. Trey Swigert will be the hitter. Trey at .295, a homer, and 11 runs batted in. I have never been to what was Telus Field and the beautiful new ballpark, Telus, now Remax Field, the home of the phenomenon known as the Edmonton Riverhawks. The pitch to Swigert hit high and deep to left center, but playable. Drew Veach moving over to his right to make the catch. Porter tags on his way for second and gets there. Pretty good decision on Porter's part. Normally one will go halfway in a situation like that, but Porter recognized that Veach was going to make the catch, and thus getting himself into scoring position became the priority. And Ethan got on the bag, and while it's not a stolen base, it continues to show some great instincts and aggressiveness for Ethan as a base runner. So he's at second, 2 down for Ian Draper, trying to get the Knights even in the bottom of the first. The pitch to Ian swung on and fouled back, and the count 0-1. But while never having been to the beautiful new digs, they average over 5,500 fans per game capacity. I think the official number is 92. Again, let me say to you, they average 5,500 fans per home games. Edmontonians love their baseball, love their Riverhawks, now in their 5th year in the West Coast League. The pitch on the way, missing down and away, and their head coach has been involved. He was the hitting coach and has become the head coach now in his 4th year, Jake Lanferman. But he was telling me that Canada Day and other days sell out, 9,200 plus. It has been indeed a huge hit in that community. Ian Draper, a huge hit. A high drive to deep left field off the top of the fence and back into the arms of Max Stagg. Ethan Porter scores from second, and Ian Draper, speaking of huge hits, gets one, knocking it off the top of the 8-foot fence. There's another 6-foot that he just missed. Had he had the ball slightly over to the right, he might have gotten himself a 2-run home run, but he crushes a double off the fence in left field, and the Knights pull even at 1. Ethan Porter scoring, and Ethan probably would not have scored from first base on a ball hit that hard and deflecting quickly into the glove of the left fielder, Max Stagg. A good base running maneuver thus by Porter enables him to score easily on the double by Ian Draper. Ryan Severns the batter. First pitch fouled at the plate by Ryan. 0-1 the count. Draper with his first extra base hit this summer through 7 games with the Knights, and it produces his 3rd run batted in. 0-1 the count to Ryan Severns, a 1-1 tie in the bottom of the first inning. Derek DeVos ready, comes to the plate. The strike 1 fastball misses outside. 1-1 the count. But I have fond, very affectionate memories of John Ducey Park and visiting John Ducey when the Edmonton Trappers were part of the Pacific Coast League, and I had a chance to make trips up there in 87, 88, 89, working with the Portland Beavers in the PCL. The pitch on the way to Severns misses outside, ball 2, 2-1. A 1-1 tie in the bottom of the first. Loved the community, loved the locale of the ballpark, the setting. It was a little long in the tooth at that point, was John Ducey Park, a bit dilapidated in spots. And when I learned a few years later that they had kind of raised John Ducey, but right on the same plot of ground built up Telus Field, I knew it needed to happen. But I also had a twinge of regret because I enjoyed quite a few beautiful, long summer nights and then going out in search of the northern lights after games. Never did see them there. Finally saw them in Corvallis a couple of summers ago. Pitch fouled away. The 2-2 pitch down and away, ball 3, 3-2. Over those 3 summers, I made trips to Edmonton. The local restaurateurs and other establishments that were open after the games, I'd wander in and they'd say, "Oh, you missed the Northern Lights." They were last week they were out, and they got to know me because I'd go in and ask if they were flashing anywhere, and I missed them 3 straight summers. The 3-2 pitch to Ryan Severns is high, ball 4. The Knights have pulled even at 1. Josh Natai, the designated hitter, will be the batter. But I count those trips in the PCL to Calgary and to Edmonton among my favorite ever in those years. Edmonton was a tremendous Pacific Coast League city. Coming into the league in 1981 at John Ducey Park, and the likes of Ron Kittle, Fernando Valenzuela playing in Edmonton Trappers uniforms. First pitch to Josh Natai, a breaking ball strike, and the count 0-1. And it was in the summer of 1991 that my all-time favorite baseball player I got to see in person in Portland at Civic Stadium when Fernando Valenzuela was pitching for the Edmonton Trappers against Bernardo Brito and the Portland Beavers. Ground ball to short, fielded by Shido Sato. He shovels over to Cole Kreitzel at second for the force on Ryan Severns, and that ends the bottom of the first inning. But the Knights do come back to pull even. A walk to Porter, a double off the middle of the fence by Ian Draper. The Knights leave 2 at the end of 1. Edmonton won and the Knights won back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
the second inning for the Riverhawks. He has a good hitter tomorrow.
A 1-1 tie as we go to the top of the second inning. Nice crowd still coming in to Goss Stadium at Coleman Field for this $1,000 Dash for Cash extravaganza. Grayson riding to Cale Clark and misses just outside. The right-hander back to the plate, down and in, ball 2. 2-0 to Cale Clark. Off to a good start this summer in 6 ball games with the Riverhawks, hitting .375 with 4 runs batted in. A 1-1 tie in the second. Riding delivers and misses again, ball 3, 3-0. Cale Clark, Max Stagg, and Cole Kreitzel for the Riverhawks. Game 1 of 3 tomorrow night, a 7:15 start. We'll be on the air at 7. The 3-0 pitch in there for a strike and the count 3-1. The later start due to the fact that I want to time it up with the arrival of darkness for the spectacular drone light show. The 3-1 pitch pulled foul past first. That evens the count at 3 balls and moves the count to 3-2. Head coach Jake Lanfordin coaching at third base for the Edmonton Riverhawks. The 3-2 pitch is punched into shallow left. Backing up is Joey Morasco, well positioned to make the catch. 1 away, and a nice job by Riding. He was down in the count 3-0, and he comes back to pitch to contact, avoid ball 4, and get the out. Levi Moon coaches at first base for the Riverhawks. The pitching coach is Jamie Wilson. When I introduced myself to him, he said, "Yeah, my name is Jamie Wilson, but everybody calls me Big Dog." Okay, I'm glad to know that. We'll see if the Big Dog will need to make any trips tonight. Max Stagg takes a breaking ball strike from Grayson Riding. Riding comes back with a slider swung on and missed. Variations on the curveball for breaking stuff from Grayson Riding, who's quickly ahead 0-2 to Max Stagg. 1 out, nobody on, a 1-1 tie in the second. The wind's really beginning to whip up here, the strongest they've been in any ball game here this summer. The 1-1 pitch missing down and away in the count 1-2. I believe, and I'll have to, this is another fact I hope to double check and confirm before tomorrow night. When I mentioned Ron Kittle, somehow in my mind's eye thinking of baseball register books or baseball cards or whatever. Did he hit 50 in Edmonton one year? Okay, now the 2-2 pitch, a breaking ball chop foul towards Coach Lanfordin. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. If any of you can confirm, look it up. If you're an Edmontonian and somehow have a way to convey that to yours truly, it seems like I have in my mind's eye reading Ron Kittle. Oh my gosh, 50. It doesn't matter where. You see the number 50, particularly in those days. That's impressive. A 2-hopper to short. Joey Morasco up with it and fires over to Ethan Porter. 2 down, and Cole Kreitzel, the batter. Ron must have had a swing built for John Ducey. I remember John Ducey Park being somewhat, I liked it because it was asymmetrical. You know, the cookie cutter ballparks that came into vogue in the late 60s, early 70s. John Ducey was not one of those. The pitch to Cole Kreitzel swung out and missed in the count 0-1. 2 outs, nobody on, a 1-1 tie in the second. I remember it felt like the fence. It wasn't quite like, what's that mansion in California with all the stairwells and different rooms. A high pop-up on the left side. Joey Morasco behind the mound. On the back slope of the mound, races in to make the catch. What is the name of that place? Some sort of mansion up outside of San Jose anyway, known for, I felt like the John Ducey Park had fences kind of jutting in and out, the antithesis of symmetrical, and I loved it for that quality amongst others. A good inning here in the second for Grayson Riding. He retires the side in order, and at the end of 1.5, Edmonton won, the Knights won back in '90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Ages 10 and younger are invited to participate. No parents will be allowed to accompany their child on field. Leading off the second inning for your Knights, the catcher from Cal State Northridge, number 15, Xavier Rios.
A 1-1 tie to the bottom of the second inning. Right-hander Derek DeVos out of Panola College. That's a new one on me as well. University, okay, UIW. See, now this is the problem with Instagram. UIW baseball welcome new Cardinal Derek DeVos to the family. That's when this is all the research that I just wasn't able to get to today. I'm trying to do on the fly. The pitch on the way to Xavier Rios, a fly ball to right field. Finnegan Stewart is right there to make the catch. Is that, I'm just now asking and talking on the fly as we go, completely sorry for not having it all dialed in. Again, by tomorrow, let it be. Is that University of Incarnate Word, and is he coming from Panola College? Okay, that's Magnolia, Texas. It's not on the roster that we were given. Usually we see what school they're either attending to or where they're going to. Not on the roster we were given. I just didn't have time to get all the work in today. Kellen Siegel takes ball one in this 1-1 tie. The 1-0 pitch fouled at the plate, and the count 1-1. So when I look up Derek, I see welcome to the Word. So that's why, you know, the great powers of deduction at work here. Welcome to the Word is the Instagram post. UIW. Oh, that must be University of Incarnate Word. I'm going to go with that unless somebody else. No, you're very wrong. The 1-1 pitch in the turf, ball 2-1 to Kellen Siegel. The other first thing that comes up on Derek is Derek DeVos still at Panola College, and I'm not sure where that is either. The pitch on the way to Kellen Siegel misses for ball 3-1. Carthage, Texas. There we go. Okay. But it looks like he's moving on from Carthage to UIW. The 3-1 pitch, high and inside. Kellen Siegel drawing a one-out walk, and Joey Morosco will be the batter. The third walk issued by Derek. It got him into a little trouble last inning, and that Ethan Porter drew a one-out walk and came home on a two-out double by Ian Draper. And Joey Morosco at the plate, really looking forward to learning a little bit more other than just the fact that his dad's name is James. James was kind enough to come up and say hello here as we sit adjacent to the McGrath family press box. The pitch is in there for a strike to Joey. 0-1 the count. Joey at 237 with 7 runs batted in, and is appearing in his 17th games, his 16th start. A 1-1 tie, bottom of the second inning. Kellen Siegel drawing a one-out walk. The pitch on the way to Morosco, a one-hopper, a diving stop by Chris Parkin to his left, gets up and throws him out. 2 down, and an excellent play by Chris Parkin. And it also, again, is in keeping with how things have been going of late for the Knights. Not finding many holes, hitting balls hard at people, occasionally throwing to the wrong base or making the wrong decision with respect to pitch selection and all the things that can go on when a team is in a bit of a slump. And collectively, the Knights have been in losing 5 of 6 and 4 straight. Type of difficult stretch we haven't seen often through their 18 years, this their 19th in the West Coast League. But a very good play by Parkin. On the play, Kellen Siegel into second. Max Medina, the batter, takes low and inside, ball one from Derek DeVos. 1-0 the count. Derek with an impressive frame. And congratulations on earning a Division I opportunity. The 1-0 pitch to Medina, missing high for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes and a 1-1 tie in the bottom of the second inning. Kellen Siegel, the go-ahead run at second. The Knights haven't been playing with the lead much in this stretch, having dropped 5 of 6 and 4 in a row. They'd love to generate one right here. Kellen's going to third, the throw and a hop. Caught by Chris Parkin, but he doesn't have a chance to apply a tag. And Kellen Siegel picks up a steal. That means $50 for Community Outreach Inc., $25 from the Corvallis Knights, $25 from Papay Material Handling to help people who are indeed challenged in our community deal and get some of the necessities of life through Community Outreach Inc. The 3-0 pitch to Max Medina in there for a strike, the count 3-1. A 1-1 tie, bottom of the second inning. DeVos works from the windup, comes to the plate and sails his 3-1 pitch. So control has been an issue for Derek thus far tonight. 2 walks in each of the first 2 innings. Ethan Porter, the batter, with the Knights trying to take advantage of that fact. Coming in, it's clear that has been perhaps the thing that Derek is wanting to work on most for the rest of the summer, just the overall command. Coming in, 13 2/3 innings, 10 hits, but 14 walks and 12 strikeouts, and 4 thus far through 1 2/3 today. He misses with a breaking ball to Ethan Porter. 1-0 the count. Kellen Siegel at third, a very good runner, and Max Medina at first, and would not be at all surprised to see Max taking off. He gets his lead held on by Omar Gonzalez. The 1-0 pitch, a line drive, base hit to center field for Ethan Porter. Kellen Siegel trots home and now hesitating between second and third, and then making a decision to go to third. He would have been out, but the third baseman drops the ball, and into second base goes Ethan Porter on the throw to third. I'm not quite sure what Max Medina was thinking, hesitating between second and third and then deciding to come. If Chris Parkin had held on to the ball, Medina would have been out. But Parkin didn't hang on the tag attempt. The ball got jarred loose. So Max Medina safe. Ethan Porter good base running to pick up the extra 90 on the error on Parkin. And maybe, just maybe, with the Knights taking the lead at 2-1 and the ensuing activities with what should have been an out not occurring, maybe that's the break of sorts the Knights have been looking for to get out of their 4-game losing streak slump. We'll see. Trey Swigert would love to sort of take advantage of it now with a 2-out hit to put the Knights up 4-1. It's 2-1, Corvallis, bottom of the second, and the first pitch hits Trey Swigert to load the bases for Ian Draper. And whether we'll see the big dog himself make a visit, we'll find out here in a moment. But Derek DeVos has struggled with his control. 2 walks last inning, gave up a run. Here in the second, 2 walks and a hit batter. Swigert was a little slow to get up, but does so and walks down to first. He's hurting, no doubt. That pitch hit him in a tough spot. He jogs it out a little bit as he is greeted by first base coach Marcus Matias. The Knights trainer, and I'm not sure who this person is for tonight. Again, the harried nature of the activities starting tonight's game. Normally, I try to find out. It has been a rotational effort this year for Corvallis Knights baseball and their trainers. We've seen 3 or 4 different ones. This is one I have yet to meet. She comes out to make sure that Trey Swigert is okay. And we'll head back to the Knights dugout on the third base side. Whoever she may be. I'll try to find out the next time she works. Now, the Knights have taken the lead 2-1 on Ethan Porter's RBI single to center. The pitch on the way, fastball in there for a strike to Ian Draper, who doubled off the fence last inning. The bases loaded, 2 down. DeVos works out of the windup, the big right-hander back to the plate and throws a wild pitch. Here comes Medina to the plate, and he'll score standing up. And the Knights lead it 3-1. Derek DeVos is just struggling with his command. The stuff looks pretty good. And he's earned himself an opportunity at D1 coming up in the fall, but he's just not able to harness it the way I'm sure he would like. With 2 walks, a hit batter, a wild pitch in the inning. Now delivers a ground ball smothered by Parkin on a dive to his left, gets up and throws him out. And Ian Draper robbed of a 2-run single on another good play by Chris Parkin. Parkin has done an outstanding job in a couple of respects. 2 great plays this inning. He also had an error, but that in the end did not cost another run for the Riverhawks. Really good glove work by Parkin. He takes away 2 hits from the Knights, and the Knights settle thus for 2 runs. But they do take the lead. 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left, pardon me. And at the end of the first 2 innings of play, it's the Knights 3 and the Riverhawks 1. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Join me and Ironhead Roofing in a round of applause for these brave men and women in their service for our country.
3-1 Knights as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Drew Veach will lead things off. He is the leadoff hitter for Edmonton. Drew takes Grayson Riding's breaking ball down and away, ball 1. I have Drew out of Andover, Kansas, and playing for the University of Central Missouri, beginning his collegiate career at Johnson County Community College in Overland Park, Kansas. The 1-0 pitch, foul back. The count 1-1 to Drew, who grounded out tonight's third baseman Trey Swigert to open the ball game. Shido Sato on deck. The 1-2-1 pitch swung on and missed, and that evens the count to Drew Veach at 2 balls and 2 strikes. From the stretch, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball just missed from Grayson Riding to run the count full to 3-2. It appears as though Drew played in the Northwoods League last summer and had a memorable moment, a pinch hit grand slam. The 3-2 pitch, he drives this one to the gap into left center field. Siegel and Medina chasing it down. The ball bounds into the glove of Medina at the Pioneer Connect sign. And into second base goes Drew Veach with a leadoff double. Well struck. The second hard hit 2-bagger For
The shortstop, number 1, Chidu
the Edmonton Riverhawks, Shido Sato will be the batter. Shido with a double and scored a run in the first inning. 3-1 Knights, but a leadoff double giving the Riverhawks of Edmonton an opportunity to close the gap. Grayson Riding delivers, breaking ball in there for a strike to Sato. 0-1 the count. The Riverhawks in their 5th season in the West Coast League. They have had a number of incarnations after their long run in the Pacific Coast League, aforementioned. The strike one pitch missing up and in to Sato. 1 ball and 1 strike the count, 3-1 Knights in the second. Baseball goes back in the great city of Edmonton all the way back to the late 1880s. The Edmonton legislatures, the Edmonton Grays. There goes a runner to third. The throw is high and not in time, and it's safely in. Drew Veach picking up the extra 90 feet. Good job on Drew's part. He's at third base now with nobody out. And so a really good opportunity here with Veach getting his 6th stolen base in as many attempts for Sato to get the run home with an out. And Chris Parkin would have the same opportunity if Sato doesn't deliver. The infield stays at normal depth. The 1-2 pitch, a breaking ball way outside. 2-2 to Shido Sato for Edmonton. Diamond Park was built, as I mentioned, in 1907. They might have played some form of ball in 1507, but not necessarily in Edmonton. Diamond Park, 1,500 capacity, built in 1907. The 2-2 pitch to Sato outside, ball 3, 3-2. And then Renfrew Park in the great city of Edmonton became John Ducey Park in the same spot, but built in 1933 with a capacity of 6,500. The 3-2 pitch, a ground ball wide of third, off the glove of Trey Swigert, deflected into left field for a base hit. Down the line to score is Drew Veach, and it's now the Knights 3 and Edmonton 2. Sato is 2 for 2 with a run scored and now a run batted in. And that has been the difference of late, too. Things like what we just saw. Chris Parkin, the third baseman for Edmonton, lays out twice in the bottom of the second inning and takes base hits away from a night hitter. Here, Swigert was trying to take a base hit away. Wouldn't have taken the RBI, but had he fielded cleanly, would have been able to get up and make a play on Sato. Now the first pitch to Chris Parkin is a breaking ball, dropped by Xavier Rios for a passed ball, enabling Sato to go to second. I believe the pitch was called a ball, but no, it was a strike. And so everybody was putting a ball on the board thinking it was a wild pitch. It was an excellent pitch, a strike, but Rios not catching it cleanly. A pass ball sends Sato to second. Chris Parkin grounded to third and has taken 2 hits away from the Knights thus far. Takes up and in, and the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. The kids are all anxious and getting ready to run on the field after the 4th inning. I think the middle of the 4th, before the Knights come up to hit, to chase down $1,000 and $1 bills in a $1,000 dash for cash presented by local State Farm agents Monica Baez, Suzanne Ropey, Jim Coolman, and Severn Thomas. The pitch on the way is foul back. The count goes to 1-2 to Chris Parkin. Still nobody out in the inning and a runner at second, so it's shaping up nicely for Edmonton. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball from Riding, misses down. Ball 2, 2-2. And then John Ducey Park served the community from 1933 to 1994. Telus Field, now Remax Field, built in 1995. The 2-2 pitch, Riding bounces his breaking ball, and the count goes full to 3-2. Riverhawks baseball has been a gigantic hit, breaking West Coast League attendance records year after year. and averaging over 5,500 again in this their 5th season. The 3-2 pitch is ball 4. Grayson Riding, who was ahead 1-2, loses Parkin. The Knights still don't have an out in the inning. The cleanup hitter, Omar Gonzalez, will make his way to the plate. Omar, an infield single in the 1st inning. We're in the 3rd, 3-2 Knights. And pitching coach Bo Kearns is asking for time and on his way out for a visit. Bo told me before the game, and I was glad to hear this, that in terms of, hey, everybody's saying, hey, we need to win, we got to get a win tonight, we got to kind of get back to Knights baseball and being who we are. Bo said that this team has that all-in sort of edge and feel and pulling together as much as any team that he's been involved with. It is early in the season, but he says the guys are not just sort of shrugging it off like, yeah, it's summer ball, we lost a few games, no big deal. No. The extra work being put in, the extra calls amongst themselves to coaches for more work on things. Bo said he's been very impressed in that respect with the demeanor of the club, trying to get themselves out of this unusual stretch. Big Omar Gonzalez, 6'3", 235, stepping in with runners at 1st and 2nd and nobody out. 3-2 Knights. Gonzalez takes a slider for a strike. The count 0-1. Omar out of Palma High School in Salinas and at Cal State Los Angeles now, previously at Monterey Peninsula College. The strike 1 pitch, missing down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. I don't remember the character for Steinbeck. I remember in the film how she said Salinas, but the one that unfortunately Lenny, yeah, it just wasn't a great thing that happened in Steinbeck's magnum opus of Mice and Men. A high pop foul down the left field line, deep in the corner onto the TNT Builders party deck, occupied by a lot of fans enjoying this cool, breezy, pleasant Friday night in the Mid-Valley. What was her name? She talked about she did something in Salinas, she said, and she had beautiful hair, and she asked Lenny, would you like to, stroke my hair? It's so soft and nice. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, he said yes. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3, and as tragic of a tale as I think has ever been written. It's more of a short story, a novella than anything else. But in terms of capturing the hopes and dreams of all of us, one of these days we're going to get the Jack together and get a little place. I mean, it's just an incredible story. But I think of Salinas and Steinbeck, and the young man from Salinas, Omar Gonzalez, strikes out here. That's the first out of the inning. It'll be the final out for Grayson Riding, because after the visit by pitching coach Bo Kearns, Brooke Knight comes out to make a call to the bullpen presented by Wilson Motors. Remember, Wilson Motors Night is coming up on July 23rd. Visit Wilson Motors at 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis to pick up your free tickets anytime between now and July 23rd. 3-2 in the 3rd. A new pitcher coming in, a 2-minute pitching change break. The Knights and Riverhawks in game 1 of the 3-game series. 3-2 Corvallis, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
At bat, the catcher, number 32, Jason Green.
Right-hander Blake Sebastian goes to work on Jason Green, getting the call out of the bullpen with the Knights leading Edmonton 3-2 in the top of the third inning. The Riverhawks have runners at first and second and one out. Left-hand hitting Jason Green at the plate. And the big right-hander Blake Sebastian, 6'6", 230, out of Nebraska, comes back to the plate and delivers strike two to Jason, who had an infield single in the first. Yeah, I still hear microphone 2 a little loud. I went to use it as a paperweight as things are picking up, the wind's picking up here in the third inning. The Riverhawks with runners at first and second and one out. And a pitch clock violation on Blake Sebastian. And that's going to run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jason Green, 6'5", 215-pounder. In his second summer with the Edmonton Riverhawks, played 44 games last year, blasted 9 home runs. Dangerous hitter, swings, taps 1 foul at the plate. Trying to get the Riverhawks even here in the top of the third inning. 3-2 Knights, with Shido Sato at second, Chris Parkin at first. And Jason Green at the plate. Played this past spring at Niagara in the MAC. He swings at the off-speed pitch from Sebastian. Doesn't get it. Strike 3. Nice job by Blake to come in and get the second out of the inning. 48 games for Jason during the spring season with 7 home runs. He blasted 13 last year, so a true power hitter in the 5-hole. But Sebastian able to get him out in a clutch spot. Now Finnegan Stewart, the hitter, with runners at first and second and 2 down. The Knights still leading 3-2 in the top of the third, game 1 of a 3-game series. Sebastian to the plate, fastball, foul back, and the count, no balls and 1 strike to Finnegan Stewart. The final game at Edmonton's John Ducey Park, by then it had become Telus Field, but the last game, I should say, as a AAA club, the Edmonton Trappers era came to an end on September 2nd of 2004. Sebastian with a good breaking ball drops in nicely to Finnegan Stewart, who struck out in his first at-bat. 0-2 the count. Shido Sato at second, Chris Parkin at first. 3-2 Knights in the third. Over 9,000 fans came out to try to bid farewell to the Trappers, but rain forced the game to be called at the end of an inning and a third. The strike 2 pitch in the turf, 1-2 the count. Nolan Ryan and a group that led by Nolan Ryan bought the Edmonton Trappers from the Edmonton Eskimos, who had been running the club since '99, and moved the team to Round Rock, where there'd been a big hit down there. The 1-2 pitch popped up on the left side. Third baseman Trey Swigert calling. Trey stays with it and makes the catch. And a nice job out of the bullpen by Blake Sebastian. Edmonton does pick up a run in the inning on 2 hits, no errors and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's the Knights 3 and Edmonton 2 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
With the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pope's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, 3-2 Knights. Shaping up to be an interesting ball game. We've had a few of those here of late. They've been pretty compelling affairs with a lot of strange things going on. The famous phrase from over 2,000 years ago, and people saying as they left a village after seeing a certain event, and the people left saying, "We have seen strange things today." I dare say. Well, we've seen some strange things in this week of baseball. Odd stuff I've never really seen before. And the Knights are looking for their first win this week. They lead at 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Ryan Severn's first ball swinging pulls one foul outside of 3rd and down the line. No balls and a strike to Ryan. Josh Natai on deck. Derek DeVos to the plate in there for a strike, and he's ahead of the count 0-2 to Severns. It appeared as though it took a while after that PCL era ended. Good pitch on the strike 2 offering to Severns. Swung on and missed strike 3. After walking Ryan in the first, DeVos comes back and strikes out Severns on 3 pitches here in the 3rd. 1 away. Josh Natai, the designated hitter, the batter. Josh grounded into a force play in the first. You had different leagues. Baseball kind of was always present, but it wasn't really until this organization, this entity, this league, and the quality of the product of the Summer League and the West Coast organizational structure and the players and the type of ball players in baseball available that things really have been just a gigantic success in the beautiful gateway to the north. The pitch swung on and missed, and the count 1-1 to Josh Natai. 1 out, nobody on. 3-2 Knights, bottom of the 3rd. Derek DeVos ready. The big right-hander drops the arm, kicks the legs, delivers. Fastball fouled over my head down into the bicycle. Boy, a lot of bicycles being ridden to Goss Stadium at Coleman Field and into Urchin Alley, and an urchin in a Corvallis Knights baseball cap and sweatshirt digs it out. Good for him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeVos delivers just outside with a fastball, and that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Josh Natai. You had the Edmonton Cracker Cats, the Edmonton Capitals as part of the Northern League, the Western Canadian Baseball League, the Edmonton Prospects. Natai a ground ball to short, charged by Sato. Cheeto fields cleanly and throws Josh out. 2 down, Xavier Rios will be the batter. And so with the different kinds of leagues and different things going on, it was just the right time and place for the Riverhawks to come into existence, making their debut in May of 2022. And I don't know the powers that be in terms of ownership, management, marketing, and all of that, but the business plan, everything that's gone on in the beautiful city of Edmonton, Alberta, has led to, it's always been a great baseball town, no doubt. But everything seems to have come together beautifully to make this team, the Edmonton Riverhawks of the West Coast League, a gigantic hit. Xavier Rios takes a strike. The 0-1 pitch on the way from Derek is in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count. There was an article in one of the, I did get that far in reading a little bit about the overall baseball history, and having been there for several summers back in the late 80s, loved the city of Edmonton. The strike 2 pitch to the backstop, and the count 1-2. 2 outs, nobody on, 3-2 Knights in the third. But a headline in one of the articles was, quote, "The River City's forgotten sport," unquote, referring to baseball, which never really has been forgotten. There's always been a great core of baseball fans. But it's just a delightful turn of events that the Riverhawks coming together when it did and filling up Remax Field on a consistent basis. What a great story. Breaking ball on the 2-2 pitch, missing down and away, ball 3. 3-2 to Xavier Rios. He flied to right field at Xavier last inning. The Knights lead at 3-2 in the bottom of the third. Kellen Siegel on deck. DeVos ready, the 3-2 pitch, a line drive to right field. Finnegan Stewart goes back a few steps, reaches up to make the catch. Good contact for the second straight at bat to right for Rios, but Stewart has hauled in his line drives each time, and we are gone through 3. The Knights go in order. Derek DeVos finding his command, and as we go to the 4th, it remains the Knights 3 and the Edmonton Riverhawks 2 back in '90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Great job, James, and thank you to Craig for sponsoring.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Through 3 innings, and that means we are drawing ever closer to the much anticipated $1,000 dash for cash. The Knights 3 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Edmonton 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. To the 4th inning we go. Blake Sebastian ready to go to Cale Clark, the designated hitter. Cale takes high and away from Sebastian, ball 1. Cale Clark, Max Stagg, and Cole Kreitzel in the 4th for the Edmonton Riverhawks. The 1-0 pitch misses high, ball 2, 2-0. 3-2 Knights, top of the 4th inning. Sebastian back to the plate, and Sales' 2-0 pitch. 3-0 the count. Blake Sebastian, Xavier Rios, the Knights battery. Ethan Porter at first, Ian Draper at second, Joey Morosco at short, Trey Swigert at third, Kellen Siegel in left, Max Medina in center, Ryan Severns in right. The 3-0 pitch in there for a strike, and the count 3-1 to Clark, who popped to short in his first at-bat. Tough sun out in left for Kellen Siegel. He is shielding that sun with his throwing hand. As the pitch comes to the plate, he keeps that hand up there and watches as Clark fouls it back. 3-2 the count to Cale. The youngsters are gathering and getting ready to get in line and run out onto the field. The dash for cash will take place between innings. A toss made back of first from Ethan Porter, spearing a ball to his left and getting the baseball to the pitcher, Blake Sebastian, covering. Good play by Porter. One away, and Max Stagg will come to the plate. Max grounded to short in the second inning. And 7 years or so before I ever got to make my first trip to beautiful Edmonton, Alberta. Slider for a strike from Sebastian, the count 0-1. Edmonton exerted a fascination on me because of liner notes, a set of liner notes. Do you still read liner notes? The strike one pitch to the backstop from Sebastian. 1-1 the count to Stagg, who grounded to short in his first at-bat. 3-2 Knights in the fourth. The liner notes for among my favorite albums ever. The 1-1 pitch from Sebastian, breaking ball down and away, the count 2-1. The album Dancing in the Dragon's Jaws by the great bard from the north, my all-time favorite artist, Bruce Cockburn. The 2-1 pitch, fastball fouled at the plate, and oof, that got a piece of Xavier Rios, and he falls to his knees, and Xavier just going to need a little time. There's a good deal of empathy in this ballpark at the moment, with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes and 1 out, and Xavier just trying to give himself some time here, and he'll get there. Be able to carry on, but no fun for him. 1 out, nobody on, 2 balls and 2 strikes in the fourth. 3-2 the Knights in front. The liner notes in Dancing in the Dragon's Jaws, Cockburn writes something to the effect of, when thanking people for contributing to the great songs in that album, the 2-2 pitch on the way, breaking ball fouled at the plate, the count remains 2-2. At one point he says, and my thanks to, and I if any of you up there know these people or know if they're still around, I want to thank them at some point in my life. I looked for them years ago and never could find anybody that knew them. 2-2 breaking ball hung out over the plate, and Stagg drills it into center field, and he's going to go for 2, and he gets 2. A leg double from Max Stagg. Excellent base running. A solid single to center, and not necessarily pursued with great alacrity by Max, and the throw kind of looped in. And great job of base running by Stagg to get a leadoff double to center, and truly a leg double. Hit it well. Medina was fairly deep, but Max Stagg was thinking double when he left the box. And Cole Kreitzel, the batter, Cole popped to short in the second. So the tying run at second base for the Riverhawks with 1 out. Sebastian to the plate and misses outside, ball 1. 1-0. Bruce wrote something to the effect of, the content of these songs in this album have been heavily influenced by the writings of Charles Williams. Williams also one of my favorite writers as well, an incredible mind, Charles Williams. Well, anyway, the pitch away, ball 2, 2-0. But he says, and I want to thank, and I think he says and Kathy Kerwin or Sherwin of Edmonton. Roth and Kathy Kerwin, Sherwin, I can't remember which. But I think it's Ross and Kathy Kerwin of Edmonton for introducing me to Williams' work. I've always wanted to meet Ross and Kathy. Never have, probably never will. The 2-0 fastball inside, and the count 3-0 from Blake Sebastian. But the influence of the great Charles Williams on Cockburn and those songs contributed greatly to my life as a grown-up since 1980 and beyond. In fact, just today, listening to Incandescent Blue and After the Rain and Creation Dream and so many other great tunes from one of the masters of the language and virtuoso guitarist. Underrated, should be more known than he is. But those of you in the Great North, I hope you appreciate him. He is a true treasure. The 3-0 pitch, missing high for ball 4 to Cole Kreitzel. And so after 1 out in the inning, a good play back at first by Ethan Porter. A leg double to center from Max Stagg. Cole Kreitzel drawing a walk. Drew Veach, the batter. Sebastian to the plate and bounces his breaking ball. Good block by Xavier Rios. 1 ball and no strikes. The Knights clinging now to a 3-2 lead in the top of the 4th inning. Blake picking up for Grayson Riding last inning. Max Stagg at second, Cole Kreitzel at first, and 1 out. The 1-0 pitch runs down and in, and Blake Sebastian is going to receive a visit from his battery mate Xavier Rios, because it does appear as though Blake has temporarily, he hopes, lost a little bit of his command after the double. A walk, and not really close to Kreitzel on any of the pitches, and now 2-0 with 2 pitches missing badly to Veach, and that will mean some activity will begin in the Knights bullpen with Luke Scheffler heading down to the pen to begin to loosen up. The Knights leading 3-2, but in a tough situation here with Edmonton's Drew Veach at the plate, who nearly hit one out of the ballpark, hit one halfway up the left field fence last inning. A 2-0 pitch is up and in, ball 3, 3-0. One would guess that Veach is green lighted here, 3-0, with Stagg at second, Kreitzel at first, 1 out. 3-2 Knights, top of the 4th inning. A move to second base made by Blake Sebastian. Ian Draper receives. Stagg gets back to the bag. Three and 0 the count to Drew Veach. Sebastian ready, delivers, and misses. Inside to load him up. A double and back-to-back walks have filled the bases for the Edmonton Riverhawks. And Shido Sato will come to the plate. He's 2 for 2. A double to the alley in left center. He scored a run. An RBI single in the 3rd. The Knights infield at double play depth. Blake Sebastian will work out of the windup with the sacks full and 1 out. Breaking ball fouled at the plate. 0-1 the count. One of my favorite people on those trips to Edmonton was the legendary broadcaster. I hope he's still around. Is Al Coates still around? What a great announcer and character he was. I enjoyed those trips to Edmonton, just kind of hanging around Al a little bit in the great city of Edmonton. I hope he's still hale and healthy and maybe still broadcasting. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sato. 3-2 Knights in the 4th. Fastball hit sharply at Morosco. He hands it to Draper for 1. Ian's throw to first is in time for the double play to retire the side. Things beginning to pick up a bit and look up for the Knights. A 6-4-3 inning-ending double play ball. And at the end of 3.5, it remains the Knights 3 and Edmonton 2 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
This evening we have Corvallis daytime drop-in center. Corvallis psychiatry non-
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Well, I had misspoke in terms of when the kids are going to take the field. It'll be after this bottom of the fourth inning with the Knights leading 3-2. But Urchin Alley has never been more crowded because all of the urchins have left Goss Stadium McColeman Field in the ballpark. And under the escort of Heather O'Malley and Derek Buchheit and other representatives of the Corvallis Knights, the kids are being taken down into the right field corner. They'll be released onto the field at the end of this half inning. And then the $1,001 bills will be released at various parts of the ballpark. Every youngster thus will have an opportunity to get at least $1 bill. But the kids are all heading down to line up for their dash for cash at the end of this half inning. Kellen Siegel looks to bunt for a hit with his mom and dad in the stands. I think he's going to get it. The throw to first. Oh, he's called out. Kellen Siegel is called out at first on a bunt, and a good play by Chris Parkin, and Brooke Knight is just not going to have it. I know there's no replay mechanism. Brooke is just saying, now come on. Siegel was safe. He was across the bag and safe. He was safe, folks. Now, okay, I'll leave it at that. Kellen Siegel was safe. He's called out. That's almost an incontrovertible fact. But there's only one opinion that matters. And the fans are very upset. Brooke Knight's upset. Brooke is just saying, how can you make that call? He's across the bag and safe. That's the yeah, I mean, there's not much recourse here other than for Brooke to say, you know, you got it wrong, sir. And Jackson Clark, after the conversation, heads back to his post. It was an excellent play by a guy that's having a great night defensively, Chris Parkin at third. A couple of diving stops. He charged that beautiful bunt by Siegel, barehanded, and fired a strike. But Kellen appeared to be easily safe. Joey Morosco, the batter, ground ball to short, charged by Sato. He throws to first for the out, 2 down. And that'll bring Max Medina to the plate. But, you know, Siegel, I mean, I don't know. Those of you watching, if any of, I'm not. I don't have a monitor here. I'm just sitting adjacent to the press box. Those of you have the advantage of me, which is about everybody. But if you do, and I mean, if any of you are watching it and want to say, hey, yeah, Brooks right to be upset, and you were right to say he was safe because he was, I'd appreciate some confirmation. But the call, and the one that matters, made by Jackson Clark. Siegel called out. The pitch on the way to Medina, foul back. I feel as though there are times all of us get almost caught up in the quality of the play made prior to whatever play ensues in terms of the call. You see somebody lay out, make a spectacular dive, or in this case, a really well-done play on the part of Parkin. That you almost get caught up in the moment, like, oh, wow, what, okay, yeah, he's out. You know, that type of thing where it feels as though just looking at it with your bare eyes, Siegel looked very safe. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Medina, pulled foul in front of the Edmonton dugout on the first base side. Derek DeVos has really settled in, pitching a good ball game, and he's gotten a lot of help from Chris Parkin at third. DeVos and Drew Veach, the battery. Omar Gonzalez at first, Cole Kreitzel at second, Shido Sato at short, Chris Parkin at third, Max Stagg in left, Drew Veach in center, Finnegan Stewart in right. The 1-2 pitch hits Max Medina on the right foot, and Ethan Porter will be the hitter. Ethan's had a good ball game. He walked and scored in the first, singled in the second, and has made a good defensive play back at first. He comes to the plate now with the Knights leading 3-2 in the bottom of the fourth inning. The ballpark will soon be taken over and swarmed upon by youngsters chasing the $1,000 bills presented by Monica Baez, Suzanne Ropey, Jim Kuhlman, and Severin Thomas, local State Farm insurance agents. A throw to first base and Max Medina back to the bag. 3-2 Knights in the bottom of the fourth inning. Edmonton a run in the first. The Knights answered with one of their own. The Knights with two in the second. The Riverhawks with one in the third. Porter backs away from a fastball inside, ball one, 1-0. I mentioned Kellen Siegel trying to bunt for a base hit with his folks here. Dan is always here, but his mom, Courtney, in the ballpark tonight. Might be her first trip, at least it's the first time I've seen her here, but they were all watching and very disappointed when the call came. Porter, a fly ball to deep right, and misjudging it and then dropping it out in right field, Finnegan Stewart. Rounding third, Max Medina on his way to the plate, he will score! And the Knights push the lead to 4-2. Finnegan Stewart went all the way back and went too far back. Tried to come back in and did, but dropped the ball. It'll probably be an RBI double for Ethan Porter simply because of the difficulty of the play. The Knights on Porter's double, and it is considered an extra base hit and an RBI. Back up 2 runs at 4-2. Ethan's second hit of the night. He hit it very well. The wind kind of knocked it down too, and I have to give Finnegan Stewart at least some room there just in terms of how hard the ball was hit. Finnegan went back, the wind knocked it down a little bit, and Finnegan came back in and wasn't able to secure the catch. A double for Porter and an RBI. Max Medina scores from first. The pitch to Trey Swigert down and in, ball one, 1-0. Trey has flied to center and been hit by a pitch. 4-2 Knights in the bottom of the fourth inning. Catcher Drew Veach out for a conversation with his battery mate Derek DeVos. Really good piece of hitting by Ethan Porter. Stewart nearly made a great catch. It was a tough play all the way, but Ethan put pressure on Stewart by simply crushing the ball. Porter having a conversation with Shido Sato, the Riverhawks shortstop, as Ethan gets his lead, being bird dogged a bit by Sato, who's still talking at him. 4-2 Knights. Porter jumping in front of Sato, breaking ball down and in, and the count 2 balls and no strikes to Trey Swigert. Trey looking for a 2-out run batted in. The pitch to Trey is lifted to shallow left field. Coming in on the ball is Max Stagg, and Max makes the catch to end the inning. But the Knights do pick up a run on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. Now the $1,000 dash for cash is going to unfold here. And the kids, it's quite a sight. The youngsters racing out onto the field. It's a beautiful sight, actually, to see so many of these young kids coming in, and to see the center fielder Max Stagg racing into his own dugout on the first base side just ahead of the kids who will be chasing around the $1,000 bills here momentarily. So I think I had Drew Veach as it's Jason Green catching and Drew Veach in center. My apologies. That would be quite the act to be able to play both. Campy played all 9, but he did play them in different innings. The Knights get a run to add to the lead. We will take a 2-minute pitching change, not a pitching change, but a dash for cash break. It'll take a little while as the $1,000 bills, $1,001 bills being shot all over the field and the kids giving chase. So we'll be back in 2 minutes going to the top of the 5th inning. After 4, the Knights 4, Edmonton 2, back in 2 on the live stream and Joe Radio.
No matter what team you're on, no matter where you explore, there's a Richardson for you. We don't just give you our word, we give you our name. We started over 50 years ago as a hometown sporting goods business, with a particular devotion to America's pastime. As we grew, so did demand for our products, both on and off the field of play. Today we serve teams, brands, and businesses. And we've earned our reputation as the best. We did it through our devotion to our craft and our customers. We've built our business on the spirit of competition and the thrill of adventure, with a relentless focus on details and an enduring commitment to quality in every stitch. We've set a high bar for ourselves because you've made our team part of your team. And your team deserves the best.
From Eastern Illinois, number 26, Zalistowski.
The cash has been dashed for and collected. $1,001 bills, and all of the kids I watched as some of the younger and smaller ones, the Knights personnel made sure that everybody got at least one or two. Everybody came away with something in the dash for cash. Quite a sight to see, presented by our local State Farm agents, Severin Thomas, Suzanne Ropey, Monica Baez, and Jim Coleman. We go to the 5th. Max Zalistowski out of Eastern Illinois, Trabuco Canyon in the Southland, takes over for the Corvallis Knights on the hill, who have a 4-2 lead going to the 5th. Chris Parkin, Omar Gonzalez, and Jason Green coming up. Parkin has played some outstanding defense, has grounded to third and walked at the plate. Left-hander Max Zalistowski ready to go. The first pitch hit sharply fair down the right field line. A great ball game for Parkin. He's on his way for 2. Ryan Severin's chasing the ball down in the corner and thinking about 3 and is on his way to third. The throw to third, and he's called out at third. And it's a makeup call, I think, everybody. Head coach Jake Lanfernan and the runner himself, Chris Parkin, both astonished by the call. And that's if it's a makeup call, it weighs more in favor of the Knights because the other was a potential bunt single. This is a leadoff triple called back in a sense. Parkin doubling to right, but then is thrown out 9-4-5, trying to stretch the double to a triple. One away, Omar Gonzalez the batter. 4-2 Knights. Gonzalez an RBI single and is struck out. Mack to the plate, fastball low and in. Ball 1, 1-0. Generally speaking in the game, it's one of those sort of, you don't make the first out of an inning or the last, but generally, especially the first out of an inning at third base. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike to Omar Gonzalez, and the count 1-1. I remember seeing it live in person in a World Series game at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum complex in the World Series Game 4, I'm pretty sure it was, in 1974. The Oakland Athletics and the LA Dodgers, and Billy Buckner trying to stretch a double to a triple, with the Dodgers down a run late. Thrown out. 2 balls and a strike, and that's all anybody ever remembers Bill Buckner for. Right? Getting thrown out at third, trying to stretch a double into a triple. Boy, he wishes that were the only ignominy that he knew in his life. What a ball player he was, though. 3-1 the count to Omar Gonzalez. Zalatoski delivers a bouncer to short. Fielded cleanly by Joey Morosco, and he throws over to Ethan Porter for out number 2. 2 away in the top of the 5th. Jason Green, the hitter. Jason with an infield single and has struck out. Some youngsters are back from their $1,000 dash for cash. Kai, Sonyi, and Aiden, did everybody catch? Did you guys all get a few dollars? Okay, nice job. Now you're having some nice food to eat with it. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, the pitch on the way to Jason Green. Belted foul down the right field line, out of play. 0-1 the count. It is nice to have Evan and Angie with Kai, Sonyi, and Aiden all in the ballpark here tonight, with Sonyi visiting from Maine. So she came a long way to see this ball game tonight. No balls and 1 strike to Jason Green. 2 down, nobody on. The Knights leading 4-2 in the top of the 5th. Jason taking down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. My friend Robert Hirsch has sent me a Wikipedia bio of some sort on the great Al Coates. Slider in there for a strike. Thank you for that, Robert. I haven't had a chance to peruse the article yet, but will in my next 90-second break. Living out my life measured out, as you know, Robert, in coffee spoons and 90-second breaks. 1-2 the count, 2 down, nobody on, 4-2 Knights in the 5th. Breaking ball, tap foul at the plate. Jason Green stays up there. Okay, let's see what we got. Al Coates, play-by-play announcer for the Edmonton Riverhawks, so he is doing, okay, Al, if you're listening tonight, man, I'm glad to know you're going. Working with John Belmont. Worked with the and called games for the Edmonton Prospects, the Trappers, as I remember, the Edmonton Cracker Cats. A great voice in that community since 1980. General manager of the Edmonton Cracker Cats for the 2007 season. But after Wikipedia says, Al, you abandoned that role after 1 year and returned to your true calling, play-by-play. I had no idea. I'm glad you're there, Al. I'd love to see you again one of these days. Ground ball to short, fielded by Joey Morosco. Throws over to first, and the inning is over. Coatsy, a true classic. A leadoff double for Parkin, but he's thrown out trying to stretch it to a triple, so Max Zalatoski faces the minimum. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Knights 4 and the Riverhawks 2. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. pitcher for the Edmonton Riverhawks. The right-hander coming into the ball game, Trey Nance. Trey hailing from Mitch Canham Country in Lake Stevens. Mitch's papa yesterday had intimated that he thought we might have an announcement today from his son, Mitch, on the new pitching coach at Oregon State. I've not seen anything along those lines. If anyone else has seen it sort of leak somewhere on social media without a stamp of officialdom, and you know, feel free to pass it along. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, the Knights leading Edmonton 4-2. Trey Vance to the plate and misses down and away. Ball 1. 1-0 to Ian Draper. Vance works out of the stretch with nobody on. The 1-0 fast one and pretty firm. Up and in, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Trey Nance making his 4th appearance. No decision, an ERA of 6.23 and 4 1/3 innings. Nance's strike 1 pitch, or 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. It was a 2-0 offering to Draper. 2-1 the count. Ian Draper, Ryan Severns, and Josh Natai for the Knights on a really cool evening. It cooled off a lot here these last few hours. The 2-1 pitch missing for ball 3. 3-1 to Draper. Ian has doubled home a run and had a 2-run single taken away in a diving play by Chris Parkin at third for the Riverhawks. The 3-1 pitch swung on and chopped foul past Brooke Knight. The count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ian Draper. The light show tomorrow night with the ball game starting at 7:15. From the stretch, the right-hander to the plate, a pop fly into shallow left field. Max Stagg moves in to make the catch. Got a text from Josh Natai's father. Josh is on deck, referring to Max Stagg with, again, the, I appreciate this, thank you so much. Joe Natai, I should say, Joe, the father of both Jimmy and Josh, said that Max is a fellow Australian. Went on some tours with Josh, began his collegiate career at Central Arizona, and then transferred to UC Santa Barbara, where he's been the last 2 years. Max making the catch on the fly ball in left field. Ryan Severns the batter with Max's former teammate Josh Natai on deck. Severns taking a first pitch strike from Trey Nance, who comes back with the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. Four to 2 Knights, bottom of the 5th inning, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak and 5 out of their last 6. Fastball and a good one, swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. Josh Natai has bounced into a forced play and grounded to short. And thank you again, Joe, for the info. The pitch to Josh, a check swing and a little tapper foul into the first base coaching box area where Levi Moon hanging out. No balls and 1 strike the count. Trey out of Lake Stevens and playing at Everett Community College. The right-hander to the plate, slider in there. Strike 2. I like the look of the way the ball comes out of this kid's hand. He looks good. No balls and 2 strikes. He comes set with nobody on, delivers. chop foul over my head, and I didn't make a quick enough move on it, and I'm getting the Bronx cheer. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count, or no balls and 2 strikes. I should have caught it. The strike 2 pitch missing high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Josh Natai. 2 outs, nobody on. 4-2 Knights in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 1-2 pitch, a check swing and the slider taken. Ball 2, 2-2. I enjoyed the conversation before the ball game with Jack Galanita about sending messages and emails. Natai rips 1 foul outside of third and down the line. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. And how he wasn't heavily recruited, but he got emails and texts and videos and things out to as many coaches as he could, and was finally glad to get a response from George Fox. And it has been a really good relationship with Jack getting ready for his senior year. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball misses high, ball 3, 3-2. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 5th. And I was just thinking with respect to looking at some of the stuff online about Trey Nance, without having had, again, the opportunity to get the deep dive that I'd like, but I see different posts and Trey Nance's baseball recruiting profile, so much stuff in social media where you can see that the youngsters themselves do a great job in terms of getting the word out about themselves. And Trey has a lot of good posts. The big right-hander ready. The 3-2 pitch, fastball taken, strike 3 called, and the Knights go in order. We go to the 6th, the Knights 4 and Edmonton 2. We'll be back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Riverhawks 2.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Top of the 6th inning, the Knights leading the Edmonton Riverhawks by a score of 4-2. Max Ostoski ready to go to Finnegan Stewart. Finnegan will be followed by Cale Clark and then Max Stagg. First pitch fastball from Mack. In there for a strike to Finnegan Stewart, who was struck out and popped to third. No balls and 1 strike the count under the lights at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The 0-1 pitch bounced up there by Max Ostoski. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Mack, a workhorse again for the Knights this summer as he was last year. 14 appearances a year ago. Mack in the ball game here, picking up for Blake Sebastian. Grayson Writing started. The pitch is lifted high and deep to left field by Finnegan Stewart and gone. Finnegan Stewart blasts one over the left field fence and draws the Edmonton Riverhawks to within a run at 4-3 with his first home run of the summer. Well struck. Yeah. The Knights look like they're in for another battle in trying to win a ball game. With a leadoff home run in the sixth, Max Zostowski giving it up. Cale Clark, the batter, left-handed hitter. Well struck. Mack making his sixth appearance this season. And that one stung a little bit. The wind has been blowing, and I think the ball got a little bit of help on the drive to left, but it was indeed well struck by Finnegan Stewart. Cale Clark takes ball one, left on left, fastball high from Zostowski, ball two, 2-0. Mack works from the stretch with nobody on, comes back to the plate, fastball on the inner half, 2-1 the count. Three runs and 8 hits now for Edmonton. Cale Clark hit the ball hard, robbed of a hit on a good play by Ethan Porter. It's been a good-looking club offensively. Trying to keep the Knights' unusual miseries this time of year going. They're within a run at 4-3. Clark swings and misses. Good breaking ball, strike three. One away.
Number 48, Max Stagg.
And that'll bring Max Stagg to the plate. Max has grounded to short and doubled to center, finding his way from an outstanding JUCO program at Central Arizona to an excellent program in the West with the Andrew Chekic's UC Santa Barbara team, which means that Max will become a teammate with the Knights' own Maverick Russell, who's transferring out of UCLA. The pitch missing low, ball one to Max Stagg. Zostowski back to the plate and delivers a fastball strike. 1-1 the count. 4-3 Knights, top of the sixth inning. Zostowski out of the stretch and comes back to the plate. Hit sharply foul past Coach Moon. Nice to have a strong local feel with this coaching staff. Jake Lanferman, Levi Moon, all involved. I think all live in Edmonton, have been part of the collegiate baseball scene in the Great North. Ground ball wide of third. Fielded cleanly by Trey Schweigert. Over to first for the out, 2 down. And Cole Kreitzel will be the hitter. The Canadian College Baseball Conference, the CCBC, and they are coaches at the Edmonton Collegiate baseball Edmonton Collegiate League, I believe it is. 9 teams in it in the provinces of British Columbia and Alberta. So a really strong local feel in the coaching staff for the Edmonton Riverhawks. With the base coaches now out there, Jake Lanferman and Levi Moon. Pitch is fouled away. The 0-1 offering, a fly ball to left. Kellen Siegel tracks it, catches it, and the inning is over. A leadoff home run for Finnegan Stewart. Zostowski settles in to get the next 3 Riverhawks. We go to the bottom of the 6th, the Knights 4 and Edmonton 3 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Coleman with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pope's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Knights, it's the catcher from Cal State Northridge, number 15, Xavier Rios.
I can't believe it. It's bizarre. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, the encounter, strange encounter. I need to see Spielberg's latest, don't I? Disclosure Day, Close Encounters of Spielberg's film, which also, same themes, right? Alien visits or whatever. Anyhow, we go to the bottom of the 6th. The first pitch of the inning to Xavier Rios hits the Knights catcher, so he goes down to first. Trey Nance to the plate, and the pitch to Kellen Siegel, foul back, the count 0-1. Kellen has walked and scored and bunted out, at least according to one person in the ballpark. It is a chilly night, and Brooke Knight has gathered, he's put a jacket on. First time all summer I've seen jackets on the coaches. That's how much it has cooled. Brooke Knight with the jacket on at third base. Marcus Matias jacket on at first. Kellen Siegel fouls the strike one pitch back, and the count 0-2. 4-3 Knights, bottom of the 6th inning. The strike two pitch to Kellen, down and away, ball one, 1-2. Joey Morosco on deck. Edmonton has a player by the name of Owen Combs. Owen Combs' mother just came by to say hello. Hopping away from first, Xavier Rios. That in itself, not terribly unusual, but she came by and said, Mike, it's Jenny Combs. You remember Foster, Jenny and Foster? And I kind of said, well, yeah, kind of. But she just now came and gave me the clarity. They were my next door neighbors, Clackamas in Portland, back in the mid-90s. And I hadn't seen them since I moved to Corvallis in '99. The strike two pitch to Kellen Siegel, taken, strike three called, one away. So if Owen Combs, who is a right-handed pitcher for Edmonton, gets into the game, and again, by tomorrow night, I will know much more than I know tonight. I hope we all know more tomorrow than we knew today. But I'll know more about Owen Combs and his mother, Jenny, who's here at the game, and a wild throw to first. Xavier Rios will go to second on an errant pickoff attempt by Trey Nance. And the Knights have a chance to get a run home now with Joey Morosco at the plate, who's grounded to third and grounded to short. It is my wife who will be astonished when you know who I saw? Jenny. Jenny Combs, next door neighbor on Northeast Clackamas in Portland, when our daughters were both born in the city of Portland and lived there. And the first person that I told that I got the Oregon State job in '99, the Combs family, next door on Clackamas. Strange. And Jenny just reminded me of that in between inning break. I'm still kind of astonished by it all, but her son Owen is a pitcher for Edmonton. Morosco taking ball 1, 1-0. 4-3 Knights in the 6th. Nance's 1-0 pitch is in the turf. Ball 2, 2-0. The Knights looking for a little separation here. They have lost 4 straight games in 5 of their last 6, so it would all be helpful to try to taste victory again. The 2-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 2-1 to Morosco. Brooks Hatch, the resident historian, has said that in his memory, and he didn't go back, he qualified it. He didn't go back and do all of the homework on it per se. The 2-1 pitch, a strike to Morosco to even the count at 2-2. But I trust his sense of things enough to believe that he's probably right when he says through 18 games in any West Coast League season that the Knights have ever had, they've never been at 500. They've always been above it, usually well above it. They start tonight at 9-9. The pitch to Morosco, a chopper to short, fielded by Sato. He throws high and he pulls his first baseman, Omar Gonzalez, off the bag, and everybody's safe. An error on Sato on the throw, and the Knights have runners at first and third with 1 out for Max Medina. Max, the incoming freshman at Cal Poly, with an opportunity to add to the Knights' lead. Xavier Rios at third, Joey Morosco at first. The pitch to Max taken a little bit high. Ball 1, 1-0. Four to 3 Knights in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 ball and no strikes, the count to Max Medina. Max, who scored 2 runs tonight, now he has an RBI opportunity. The Riverhawks play their infield at double play depth. The 1-0 pitch is a chopper foul over to the first baseman, Omar Gonzalez. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Rios from third, Joey Morosco from first. 1-1 to Max Medina. Max swings and drives it to deep right center field. It'll be plenty enough to get a run home. Moving over is Drew Veach to make the catch. Rios tags and scores a sacrifice fly from Max Medina, and the Knights lead it 5-3. Two down, and Ethan Porter, the hitter. Ethan has walked and scored, single to center, double to right to drive in a run. Trey Nance comes set and delivers to Ethan in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Remember, tomorrow night, 7:15 for the start of the ball game. We'll be on the air with the live stream at 7. The drone light show spectacular following the game. The strike 1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. Two outs, top of the 6th inning. Bottom of the top of the bottom of the 6th. Porter takes high. 1-2 the count. You know, the the credo for the boys about be prepared. Just it's good counsel on all things, and that includes what you wear to the ballpark. It's getting chilly. There goes Morosco. The throw to second is not in time. Joey on a 1-2 pitch taking off. A pitch down and away to Porter. And Joey picks up the stolen base. He's in scoring position now for Porter. Another $50 donation made to Community Outreach Inc. $25 from the Corvallis Knights, $25 from Papay Material Handling. Ethan Porter looking for another run batted in. Swings and hits one into center field. Base hit. Porter's going to get that RBI. Morosco rounds third and scores. Ethan Porter having himself a good ball game. And the Knights lead it 6-3. That error in the inning on the shortstop for Edmonton looming very large, and time is called. It looks like we're going to see a pitching change here with the head coach Jake Lanferman on his way out to the mound, and he's already made a signal into the bullpen. And boy, I don't know if it's going to be my next door neighbor's son. We'll find out. We'll take a pitching change break. 6-3 Knights in the bottom of the sixth inning. Pitching change break, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
With the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pope's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
We got a little Candlestick Park type of field tonight here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Bottom of the sixth inning, it has just gotten flat out chilly. There are people grabbing blankets and putting sweatshirts on all over the place. Heather O'Malley, the general manager of the Knights, is going to try to bring one out to me. Wasn't expecting this at all. Here in the bottom of the sixth, the Knights leading 6-3. Logan Colville, the new pitcher, goes to work on Trey Swigert and delivers a first pitch strike. No balls and 1 strike the count. Logan Colville, the new pitcher, comes set. The 0-1 pitch on the way with Porter going, misses, and the throw is not in time, and Porter has his 4th stolen base. He has become a true threat in his brief time with the Corvallis Knights on the base paths. Colville is making his 6th appearance. He has a save, 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 6 walks, and 6 strikeouts. 1-1 to Trey Swigert. 6-3 Knights in the 6th. Trey takes down and in, ball 2, 2-1. my phone mocks me because I turn it on to try to get to a weather app, and it says 88 degrees. No, it ain't. 63, I'm not sure what the 63, I hope it feels like 62, it says. How about 52? 2 balls and a strike to Trey Swigert. Trey swings and misses. 2-2 the count. 6-3 Knights in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ethan Porter 4 for 4 now in stolen bases. He gets his lead from second. The pitch to Trey, taken down and in. Ball 3, 3-2. This is just Ethan's 5th game with the Knights all this week. 4 stolen bases in 4 attempts. So good for him. And it's his base running instincts, his aggressiveness have been impressive. 3-2 the count to Trey Swigert. Ian Draper on deck. Colville to the plate, swung on and missed, strike 3, and the inning is over. The Knights take advantage of an error and score 2. They add to their lead with 2 runs and 1 hit, an error and 1 left. We go to the top of the 7th inning. The Knights 6 and Edmonton 3 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
A pitching change for the Corvallis Knights. Matthew Kozdurka, 5'10", 205-pound right-hander out of Sandy High School and competing at Lower Columbia. This is my first chance to see Matthew. He pitched early in the year before I had joined the club following the Oregon State baseball season. So Matthew gets an opportunity here. Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 6 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Edmonton 3 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors. And Matthew Kozdurka in the 7th with a 6-3 lead. Delivers a first pitch slider for a strike. Good pitch to the leadoff hitter, Drew Veach. No balls and 1 strike. Kozdurka back to the plate. Fastball in there for a strike, and he's quickly ahead. 0-2. I had thought that Kozdurka had appeared earlier this season before I had started to follow the club. Breaking ball on the 0-2 pitch, too much of the plate. Driven into left field, base hit. Drew Veach a leadoff single in the 7th on an 0-2 count. Kozdurka is actually making his Knights debut here tonight. 5'10", 205-pounder, and coming in trying to help protect a 6-3 lead. The runner goes, and the throw from Xavier Rios down to second is in time to get Drew Veach. Good throw by Xavier, firing a strike to Ian Draper. One away in the top of the seventh. The pitch missing to Shido Sato. Shido has doubled, had an infield single and a run batted in, and grounded into a double play. Fastball just misses. 1 ball and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. 2-1 the count. And the Knights have used Grayson Riding, Blake Sebastian, Max Ostowski, and now the right-hander out of Lower Columbia, Matt Kozdurka. 2-1 breaking ball in there for a strike. 2-2 the count. Rather surprised in my life to see two people by the name of Kozdurka, Matthew Kozdurka. The head baseball coach at Lewis and Clark up the road in Portland is Matt Kozdurka, same spelling, Matthew Kozdurka, right-handed pitcher out of Sandy High School in Lower Columbia. 3-2 fastball taken by the younger Kozdurka. Strike 3 called, 2 down. And apparently no relation when I was looking Matthew up before I began my work with the Knights. I saw both Matthew Kozdurka and thought, well, okay, well, they got to be related somehow, right? They're not, at least as far as I can tell. I haven't read every article or seen, but there's been no mention in either the Knights, Matthew Kozdurka, or the Lewis and Clark head baseball coach by the same name, albeit Matt Kozdurka, that the two are related. Matthew Kozdurka's pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Chris Parkin. The 0-1 pitch, a one-hopper, knocked down by Morosco. Joey saves it and makes no play. The ball ripped by Chris Parkin, who's had himself a really good ball game. That'll be a base hit, just described by Brooks Hatch, I'm sure, described anyway as too hot to handle. Chris Parkin has been impressive tonight, and again, I'm going to see if I can do some quick on-the-telephone research on the guy. He's been fun to watch play the game. Chris Parkin listed at 6 foot, 200 pounds. The pitch on the way now to Omar Gonzalez, a ground ball to Morosco, and he'll go the short way to get Parkin out of Central Arizona College. He's really done a good job defensively and at the plate tonight, but he is forced out at second. Gonzalez bouncing into the 6-4 fielder's choice. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The fans on this Dash for Cash night rising up to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" and the 7th inning stretch. And at the end of 6 1/2, the Knights 6 and Edmonton 3 will be back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
A new pitcher as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Knights leading Edmonton by a score of 6-3. Chris Massey following Derek DeVos, Trey Nance, and Logan Colville to the hill in game 1 of this 3-game series. Left-hander Chris Massey gets the baseball as the Knights come to the plate in the bottom of the 7th before a crowd of 1,320 on this chilly June 19th. Chris Massey out of the University of Central Missouri. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike to Ian Draper, who was doubled home a run, robbed of a base hit and 2 RBIs on an excellent play by Chris Parkin. Flied to left in his last at-bat. Bo Kearns comes out of the Knights dugout with his jacket on to visit with Brooke Knight, who has his jacket on. And thanks to Paige Dorr, I now have at least a Corvallis Knights hoodie used as a blanket of sorts over my legs. I mean, most of us are wearing shorts and T-shirts throughout the 80-degree day. Regretting that now, but the hoodie is nice. Thank you, Paige, for that. The 2-1 pitch missing low. Ball 3, 3-1. June 19th today. I know there was a banner for the last couple of weeks as we would drive into Corvallis, the entryway to our great city. Big banner across Harrison Street reading Juneteenth, a very important day in the history of our country, being recognized throughout the nation today, we hope, everywhere. The pitch on the way to Draper, a pop-up on the right side. Second baseman Cole Kreitzel there to make the catch, 1 away, and Ryan Severns, the batter. Ryan has walked and struck out twice. Chris Massey, the left-hander, ready to go. 5'9", 170-pounder, delivers a fastball up and away, ball 1. Massey making his 3rd appearance this summer. 0-1, 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. It was earned. A couple of walks and a couple of strikeouts. Kicks and comes to the plate. The 1-0 pitch missing down and in. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Knights leading 6-3. Massey's 2-0 pitch, very high. Ball 3, 3-0. Chris turns and walks down the back of the slope, grabs the rosin bag. The Knights with a run in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the fourth, and 2 in the 6th inning. The 3-0 pitch just outside, ball 4. Ryan Severns draws his 2nd walk of the evening. Josh Natai will come to the plate. Josh, part of Oregon State's connection to baseball in Sydney. The pitch on the way to Josh, in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Travis Bazzana hitting his 5th home run of the season last night. Childhood friends and best of friends with Josh's brother Jimmy. Joe, thanks for listening tonight. And the information on Max Stagg, the left fielder. Josh swings and misses in the count 0-2. My daughter Lydia is driving cross country here in a couple of weeks and hopes to time it to be able to go see Travis and Kwani and the Guardians play a baseball game. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Josh, down and away, ball 1, 1-2. She is flying to Ireland at the end of July out of Boston and needs to, be at a Logan at a certain time, but wants to time it to see, maybe even see the Cubs and Wrigley and the Guardians at Progressive, and see former Beavers Michael Conforto, maybe Matthew Boyd, Stephen Kwan, Travis Pizzana. It's a pretty good trip. Heck, you go to ball games anywhere, I mean, that's great. But if you have friends and former Beavers involved, that's a great thing indeed. Natai swings and pokes one into left field, base hit. Max Stagg, his former teammate down in the Australian circuit, fields it on a couple of hops and gets the baseball back in. Ryan Severns stops at second. Josh Natai with a base hit. And Xavier Rios, the batter. Xavier was hit by a pitch and scored a run, one of 2 runs the Knights added last inning to add to their lead. It's 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning for Xavier Rios. 2 on and 1 out. Chris Massey comes set and comes to the plate. Fastball away, ball 1, 1-0. Kellen Siegel on deck. The Knights trying to snap out of it, so to speak. It being a stretch of losing 5 of 6 games in 4 straight. Severns at second, Natai at first. The pitch to Rios, fouled at the plate, and boy, that got a piece of the Edmonton catcher, Jason Green. Jason is being given some time now by home plate umpire Bryce Reeves, walking a baseball out to Chris Massey. One ball and 1 strike the count. Jason being asked from within the Edmonton dugout, "Are you okay?" And with a bit of a sheepish grin on his face, Jason settles back into the crouch as if to say, "Yeah, I guess that's what you would call it." Xavier Rios with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 on and 1 out. The Knights leading 6-3. Slices one down the right field line. A long run for Finnegan Stewart in the corner. It lands out of his reach and foul. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The homestand continues after the drone light show spectacular tomorrow. Father's Day, you can play catch with Dad on the field after the game. There ought to be a shooing of Field of Dreams, at least the final scene, while you're playing catch with Dad on the field after the game. That whole movie, the whole novel, the great novel Shoeless Joe by Canadian W.P. Kinsella, the whole movie leads to that final scene. That's what it was all about. So they should play that in the background while you play catch with Dad on the field after the ball game on Sunday. That's a 5:05 start on Sunday, so it would be in the evening and a chance to see Field of Dreams. Another foul ball off to the right and out of play. That's just an idea I'm throwing out there. The 1-2 pitch, Natai hits a high fly ball to right field. This one in fair territory. Finnegan Stewart the catch. Severns soft tag at second, stays there. 2 down, and Kellen Siegel will be the hitter. A lot of great baseball moments, obviously. Well, it's a baseball film. Oh, there were good baseball moments in it? Yeah. Well, anyway, Field of Dreams. I think overall, Bull Durham's a greater achievement. Certainly when it comes to verisimilitude, realness to life. Field of Dreams, not quite so much, although the character aspects of it, the relationship, reading the boat rocker, pinch hitting for J.D. Salinger's catcher in the Rye, who threatened a lawsuit if you used his name. He tried to sue and maybe did sue Kinsella for using his name and catcher in the Rye in the book Shoeless Joe. First pitch in there for a strike to Kellen, 0-1 the count. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 7th, 6-3 night. So the writers of the screenplay, I don't know who wrote that for Field of Dreams, but they changed it to The Boat Rocker by Terrence Mann. ably played by the great James Earl Jones. Siegel, a pop fly to shallow right field, a long run and a sliding catch by Finnegan Stewart for the out to retire the side. Good play by Finnegan, and the Knights go down in the 7th inning. But you can play catch with that and at least think about Costner playing catch with his dad in the final beautiful scene of that bizarre, tender, poignant film, Field of Dreams. We go to the 8th. It's the Knights 6 and Edmonton 3. Luke Scheffler will be coming into the game for the Knights. We'll be back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew for good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pups got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Scheffler out of Crescent Valley High School. Linfield College takes over for the Knights as we go to the top of the 8th inning. The Knights leading the Edmonton Riverhawks 6-3. Jason Green, left-hand hitting catcher, will lead it off against Luke. Jason will be followed by Finnegan Stewart and then Cale Clark, with the Knights looking to break their 4-game losing streak tonight. 6 outs to go. Luke to the plate. First pitch fastball just outside. Ball 1 to Jason Green, who has an infield single, struck out and grounded to short. Luke working with battery mate Xavier Rios. The 1-0 pitch on the way. That's a little low. Ball 2, 2-0. Luke has done an excellent job. Local kid growing up, coming to the ballpark, making his 6th appearance, 8 2/3, 2 hits, a run earned, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, and his 2-0 pitch misses for ball 3. The 6 walks is the one thing, and I know that it has bothered Luke a little. I mean, his numbers are very good otherwise, but he is 3-0 to Jason Green to open the inning. The 3-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 3-1. The Knights have used Grayson Riding, Blake Sebastian, Max Ostowski, Matthew Kozdurka, and now Luke Scheffler in their bid to get back on the winning track. The 3-1 pitch pulled fair down the right field line in the corner. Ryan Severns chasing the ball down in the corner and into second base with a leadoff double goes Jason Green. And Edmonton on a well-struck ball by Jason, off to a good start in their bid to come back and keep the Knights' miseries going. A leadoff double for Green. Finnegan Stewart, who homered in the 6th inning, has also struck out and popped out coming to the plate. I'm told, and this is just a reminder to all of you who probably check your weather apps more frequently than yours truly, but anyway, the high tomorrow by day is only 70 degrees, and it's expected to be on the cool side again tomorrow. So as you come for the light show spectacular, dress appropriately. The game will not start until 7:15. And I know that hearing that and experiencing the candlestickian nature of things here tonight at the ballpark, come a little better prepared in many respects on the morrow. The pitch rolled slowly, fouled by Finnegan Stewart up along third. No balls and a strike, a leadoff double for Jason Green. The breaking ball from Luke misses outside, the count 1-1. 6 runs, 5 hits for the Knights, 3 runs, 11 hits for Edmonton. Jason Green at second. Finnegan Stewart, the batter. Cale Clark on deck. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count. Luke set. And the right-hander ready, kicks and delivers, swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. Luke Scheffler out of Crescent Valley. Impressive frame, 6'2", 205-pounder. Comes set again, glances back at Jason Green and comes to the plate. Breaking ball misses. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not overpowering with velocity, but commands, generally speaking, the fastball, locates it, and has a good slider. And may indeed try to throw it here to get Stewart after the leadoff double by the left-hand hitting Jason Green. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Finnegan Stewart. Luke ready, delivers, breaking ball way outside. Ball 3, 3-2. Cale Clark, the on-deck hitter, looking around at blankets popping out everywhere I turn. A Christmas tree blanket here. Not quite that cold, but there is a Christmas blanket out down to my right. Scheffler ready. The 3-2 pitch on the way, high, ball 4. Luke in a little bit of trouble here now, and we'll see if the head coach, Jake Lanferman, is of any kind of mood to bunt his designated hitter, Cale Clark. Cale has popped to short, grounded to first, and struck out. In a 2-run game, maybe, probably not so here. Down 3 runs in the 8th on the road, 6-3 to the Knights. Cale, though, does bunt, and he bunts up along third, and a good decision by Trey Swigert to let it roll foul. Oh, and 1 the count. So indeed the bunt on, with Coach Lanferman trying to get back in it with at least the opportunity for a 2-run hit to draw within a run. Asking Cale Clark to bunt. Pretty good bunt, but it just trickled foul. And now 0-1 to Cale. Max Stagg on deck. 6-3 Knights, top of the 8th inning. Luke from the stretch and to the plate. A high pop-up on the right side. The infield fly rule will be invoked. Shortstop Joey Morosco backs up, makes the catch, 1 away. Big out for Luke Scheffler and the Knights. With 1 gone, Max Stagg, the batter. Max has grounded to short, doubled to center, and grounded out to third base. The double was impressive in that Max got out of the box in a hurry. Looked like his fellow Aussie ball player, a guy not by the name of Bazana. Travis, very aggressive base runner, would come out of the box thinking too, no matter where he hit it. The pitch to Stagg is low, ball 1, 1-0. I was impressed by one of the articles I read in anticipation what little time I had trying to get kind of a general overview of Riverhawks history. And when the West Coast League came into play, the Knights were invoked. A high pop fly to left field. Kellen Siegel moves in and under, makes the catch, 2 down, and Cole Kreitzel will be the hitter. Top of the 8th, 6-3 Knights, 2 on and 2 out. And that is in kind of reviewing the history of baseball in Edmonton when the West Coast League came about, and The Riverhawks made their first appearance in the WCL 4 summers ago. This now their 5th year. The article indicated that the West Coast League was famed in a good collegiate league, and it said, and in fact, the #1 overall pick came out of the West Coast League in the Corvallis Knights in 2019, a young man by the name of Adley Rutschman. So we were glad to see that Adley made his way into the record when Edmonton was joining this league as an alumnus of the Knights and Oregon State, as a way to kind of excite and sell the notion of great baseball in Edmonton returning in the form of the WCL, with Adley as a prime example. Breaking ball strike to Cole Kreitzel. 1-1 the count. Jason Green at second, Finnegan Stewart at first, 6-3 Knights in the 8th. 2 on, 2 out, the 1-1 pitch, a line drive down the left field line. It's a long run, a diving try by Siegel. He can't come up with it. In to score is Jason Green. Stopping at third base, Finnegan Stewart. Into second with a double goes Cole Kreitzel. A good effort by Kellen down the left field line, but Cole Kreitzel with a slicing double to left pulls the Riverhawks to within 2 at 6-4 with their 12th hit of the night, 7 more than what the Knights boast. And now the tying runs in scoring position for Drew Veach. Great effort by Kellen Siegel, and nearly made the spectacular catch that would have kept the lead at 3. 6-4, and Bo Kearns, the Knights pitching coach, is on his way out to the mound asking for time to visit with Luke. Generally speaking, Bo makes the visits with Brooke Knight, the head coach, the changes. And here, just an opportunity to talk to Luke about the approach perhaps to Drew Veach. Veach has doubled, singled, walked, and grounded to third. Taking a look at former Corvallis Knights, we'll see if Adley didn't play tonight. Brooks Lee, the player of the year in the league in 2019, son of Larry and Cal Polystar, went 0 for 2. Arizona leading Minnesota 6-3 in the 7th. Trevor Lornick 1 for 3. Wade Meckler did not play, or went 1 for 3 in an 11-5 Angels lead over the A's in the bottom of the 7th. Meckler 1 for 3 with a run scored. Nick Madrigal not playing. Stephen Kwan 0 for 3 tonight for the Guardians in a 9-3 loss at Houston, and the aforementioned Travis Bazzana 2 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Brandon Isert an inning and a third in a 4-3 loss against Detroit. Luke to the plate. The pitch to Drew Veach misses for ball 1, 1-0. 6-4 Knights here in the top of the 8th inning. The tying runs in scoring position. Finnegan Stewart at third, Cole Kreitzel at second. Luke's 1-0 pitch to Veach just outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Shido Sato on deck. Two balls and no strikes the count. Luke trying to minimize damage here now. Delivers, slider, swung on and missed. Good looking pitch, in the count 2-1. All things considered, with a leadoff double and a walk, Luke can get out of it cheaply enough if he can record the final out here and keep the lead at 2. Second and third, 2 down, 6-4 Knights in the 8th. Luke works from the stretch. The 2-1 pitch, breaking ball away. Ball 3, 3-1. Shido Sato on deck. Luke trying to make a big pitch here and end the inning. The young man with, I know his dad's in the stands. I saw him walking around earlier, a longtime co-worker of mine. Watches Luke deliver a 3-1 pitch for a strike. In this crowd of 1,320, 1320 looking on. The Dash for Cash is always a popular draw and a big hit. 3-2 the count now, with Luke trying to get out of the inning. Runners at second and third, 2 down, 6-4 Knights in the 8th. Scheffler from the stretch, the 3-2 pitch, chased and missed on the breaking ball, strike 3 to end the inning. Good job by Luke Scheffler. The Riverhawks do get a run on 2 hits. They leave 2 in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Corvallis Knights 6 and the Edmonton Riverhawks 4. A pitching change coming for Edmonton. We'll be back after this 2-minute pitching change break on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Don't forget to run the bases after the game and get player autographs brought to you by Old Spaghetti Factory. At the end of the game, line up on the third baseline below the TNT Donors Party Deck to access the field. The shortstop for the Riverhawks, number 7, Joey Morasco.
Joey Morasco will lead things off for the Knights as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Knights leading Edmonton 6-4. Zach Foden, big right-handed pitcher, into the ball game for Edmonton and fires a fastball for a strike to Joey. 0-1 the count. Joey has grounded to third, grounded to short, been aboard on an error, robbed of a base hit on a good play among several tonight for Riverhawks third baseman Chris Parkin. The strike 1 fastball from Foden misses high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Foden making his 4th appearance. Zach back to the plate, breaking ball, misses ball 2, 2-1. Foden 6'4", 225-pound right-hander and a hometown kid out of Edmonton. Delivers a fastball in there for a strike. That evens the count to Joey. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Joey Morasco, Max Medina, and Ethan Porter, the scheduled hitters for the Knights in the bottom of the 8th inning. Looking for some insurance to take with them to the 9th as they bid to end the dispiriting 4-game losing streak, a most unusual state of affairs for the Knights, trying to climb back over 500 with a win tonight. The pitch missing inside to Joey, ball 3, 3-2. Foden's payoff pitch, up and away, ball 4. A leadoff walk to Joey Morasco, Max Medina, the hitter. We'll see how Coach Knight wants to play this one. Does he ask Max to bunt in the bid to get that precious bit of insurance for the 9th inning? Max has struck out, walked and scored, been hit by a pitch and scored, and had a sacrifice fly in the Knights' 2-run 6th. We're in the bottom of the 8th, 6-4. Max, left-handed hitter, waiting, not bunting, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Ethan Porter the on-deck hitter. No balls and 1 strike to Max Medina. Zach Foden following Derek DeVos, Trey Nance, Logan Colville, and Chris Massey. Medina's bunting now, and he bunts it fair up along third. Pouncing on it, the catcher, Jason Green, and throws to first in time to get Medina. The sacrifice works. 2-3, 1 away. Joey Morosco into second base. And Ethan Porter, the batter. Taylor just came by a few minutes ago and asked me who my Washington Park Advisors player of the game is going to be. And Ethan Porter, the leader in the clubhouse. He's probably already sewn it up, but he certainly can clinch it with another base hit here. Ethan walked and scored in the first. He takes Lowen inside here in the bottom of the 8th with the Knights leading 6-4. Joey Morosco at second, 1 out. Ethan singled to center in the second, doubled homer run in the 4th, singled homer run in the 6th, and stole another base. He's trying to bunt for a hit here, and he bunts it foul over the McGrath family press box. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Ethan Porter, looking for his 4th hit of the night, and could pick up his 3rd RBI in the process. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, bottom of the 8th, 6-4 Knights out of the stretch work. Zach Foden delivers, hit sharply, speared again on a hop by Parkin, gets up and throws him out. Tremendous defense tonight by Chris Parkin. And that'll bring to the plate Trey Schweigert with Joey Morosco staying at second base. Parkin has taken several hits away from the Knights tonight. None better than on a diving stab with Ian Draper at the plate, costing Ian a couple of RBIs. Trey Schweigert has flied out, been hit by a pitch, flied out again, and struck out. Looking for an RBI here with Joey Morosco at second, 2 down. The pitch missing inside, ball 1, 1-0 to Trey Schweigert. 6-4 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. Joey Morosco drawing the leadoff walk. Now getting his lead from second. The 1-0 pitch, fastball in there for a strike from Zach Foden. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Tomorrow night, remember the later start, and remember to dress warm. We are in a cooling trend, to be sure. It began earlier today. I mean, it was a beautiful day earlier, but I could see looking around, the wind was picking up. Didn't quite have a chance to change attire in time to be ready for the chill outside the McGrath family press box here tonight. But we'll be ready tomorrow, and you should come ready too. It's a spectacular drone light show afterwards. Bring those blankets and you'll enjoy it, I'm sure. The pitch on the way, swung on and missed by Trey Schweigert in the count, 2-2. Father's Day on Sunday, a 5:05 start. Get on the field after the game, play catch with Dad. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Joey Morosco at second, 6-4 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. The 2-2 pitch, fastball outside, ball 3, 3-0. When Edmonton bats in the top of the 9th inning, Shido Sato, Chris Parkin, and Omar Gonzalez, the scheduled hitters. 3-2 to Trey Schweigert. Foden delivers, fastball on the inside corner, strike 3 called. Excellent pitch by Foden. The Knights are gone. They're 3 outs away from ending the losing streak. We go to the top of the 9th inning. We'll see if Coach Knight and Bo Kearns have a different pitcher plan to try to bring this one home. No one has popped out of the bullpen quite yet. Coach Knight has come to the home plate umpire, Bryce Reeves, and is apprising him of something. We'll find out together when we come back after this final 2-minute pitching change break, presumed break, We go to the ninth, the Knights 6 and the Riverhawks 4 back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Trey Swigert makes his Corvallis Knights debut in the top of the ninth inning and sails a fastball up and in that hit Shido Sato. Interesting spot to bring him in, and not having pitched this summer for the Knights, and his first pitch drills Shido Sato and sends Sato down to first and brings Chris Parkin the tying run to the plate. Is grounded to third, walked, double to right, and had an infield single. Trey Swigert takes over in the top of the ninth inning with the Knights leading 6-4. An inauspicious start with the hit batsman and the first pitch missing now to Chris Parkin. 1 ball and no strikes. Big Trey comes to the plate. Fastball for a strike, and the count 1-1. Hard throwing right-hander out of Middleton, Idaho, and the University of Portland, coming over from third base, misses outside, ball 2, 2-1. That necessitated, and what Brooke was apprising the home plate umpire, Bryce Reeves of, Ryan Severns moving from right field to third to take over for Trey there, and Tate Hammond coming off the bench to play right. Sato goes, the pitch is swung on and fouled at the plate. Shido had a good jump. Chris Parkin swings and fouls it, and the count even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes in the top of the ninth inning. Brooke Knight and the Knights trying to bring this one home, and they've used Grayson Riding, Blake Sebastian, Max Ostowski, Matthew Kozdurka, Luke Scheffler, and now Trey Swigert. The 2-2 pitch is way outside, ball 3, 3-2. Omar Gonzalez on deck. There will be a sense of, not necessarily panic, but let's just say a little tightening up of the situation if ball 4 ensues here. 3-2 the count, and ball 4 ensues here. And it's just not a good start by any stretch of the imagination with a 2-run lead, 2 free passes to open the ninth. It's just kind of the way of things of late for the Knights. The batter is Omar Gonzalez with runners at first and second and nobody out. Omar has an infield single for a run batted in, is struck out, grounded to short, and bounced into a fielder's choice. The cleanup hitter, 2 on and nobody out. Trey Swigert, in his first pitching appearance of the summer of 2026, delivers a strike to Omar. 0-1 the count. Trey trying to command the zone now. He has hit a batter, walked a batter. The tying runs on base. The strike one pitch is a base hit to left center field. Sato will score. Kellen Siegel gets the ball back in. The Knights' lead is trimmed to 1 run on the base hit by Omar Gonzalez to left field. Now the Knights 6 and Edmonton 5. Chris Parkin stopped at second. And Jason Green, big left-handed hitter, will come to the plate. Xavier Rios out for a chat with Trey Swigert. First and second, nobody out. Jason Green, the hitter. And head coach Jake Lanferman, I think, wants an offensive timeout here, and he does. These have been the toughest of times I've seen in the 19 years of Corvallis Knights baseball. This week, quite honestly. The week began, if one reckons, as Sunday, the first day of the week, with a win. The Knights winning the rubber game against Bend at Vince Genna. But they have had a losing week, with apologies to Charles Jackson. It has been the lost week thus far, with the Knights losing to Marion Monday, all 3 to Nanaimo. They lead this one 6-5, but it has a very tenuous quality and feel right here. Brooke Knight asks the home plate umpire Bryce Reeves if he has a visit, and the answer is yes. That's been part of the quirky week 2 visit gate with the Nanaimo series. So Brooke has a visit. Oftentimes, most of the time when he goes out, he's out to make a change. Here he's just trying to change the mood, the tempo, the feel here by going out to have a conversation with the entire infield, the battery of Trey Swigert and Xavier Rios. The Knights trying to find the last 3 outs and taste victory again for the first time since last Saturday at Vince Genna in Bend. Coach Lanferman's had his say. The wheel play is on. The Knights want to get a force out at third, and they should, and they do. Ryan Severns charges and throws to Joey Morosco at third as the Knights execute the wheel play perfectly and get the out on the bunt by Jason Green at third base. Well done. 5-6 on the fielder's choice. And Finnegan Stewart, the batter. Finnegan has struck out, popped out, homered, and walked. Excellent execution by the Knights. They have been a little bit lacking just in their overall little things here and there that they haven't done well during this losing streak, but that was beautifully done. The wheel play that Brooke obviously went out and talked with his players on the visit. The first pitch to Finnegan Stewart, breaking ball, pounded foul at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. I think we may see a runner, and we will, for Edmonton. Representing the tying run, Devin Simonton out of Antioch, California, will be a pinch runner representing the tying run. And he comes for Omar Gonzalez, who had singled home a run. Devin Simonton, the runner at second. 1 out, no balls and a strike to Finnegan Stewart. The strike 1 pitch missing down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Finnegan. Top of the 9th inning, 6-5 Knights. Simonton, the runner at second, Jason Green at first. 1 out, 6-5 Corvallis. The Knights right-hander ready and comes to the plate. Swigert misses. Inside, ball 2, 2-1. Important pitch right here, right now for Big Trey. He's hit a batter and walked a batter. He's behind the count 2-1 to Finnegan Stewart. Trey to the plate. Swung on and missed. Good fastball. And that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. The pinch runner, Devin Simonton, the tying run at second base. Jason Green at first. Stewart to the plate. Swigert to the plate. Fastball foul back. Good piece of hitting by Finnegan Stewart in that he just got a piece of the breaking ball to stay alive. 2-2 the count. Cale Clark, left-hand hitting designated hitter on deck. Swigert will try it again. 2 on, 1 out. The 2-2 breaking ball taken. Strike 3 called, 2 down. Nasty pitch by Trey Swigert. An out away from the big save. As important, though, a win for the Knights. Edmonton, with 5 runs and 13 hits, have the tying run at second base. The Knights 6 runs, 5 hits. Cale Clark, the batter. Swigert out of the stretch, delivers to Cale. A comebacker knocked down by Swigert, picks it up, underhands to first baseman Ethan Porter, and the Knights win it 6-5. Swigert with the save. The Knights' losing streak ends at 4 games. An important night and moment, it feels like, on this Juneteenth here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights break the losing streak at 4 games and will try to now build a streak of another kind when they return tomorrow night for the Light Show Spectacular. The Knights win the ball game with 6 runs and 5 hits. Edmonton loses with 5 runs and 13 hits. They also committed 3 errors. But the Knights get an important win led by our Washington Park Advisors player of the game, Ethan Porter, who walked and scored, singled, doubled home a run, singled home another run, had a good ball game defensively. So the Knights win it. We'll be back tomorrow night for Game 2 of the series. Remember, a 7 o'clock start with a 7:15 first pitch. We'll be a little more boned up and ready, I promise you, on all things Edmonton personnel, and we'll dive a little deeper on the great Al Coates and other things from Edmonton's historical record in the great game of baseball. It has been a huge success story for the Riverhawks in the West Coast League, and they nearly stole this one tonight from the Knights with a 13-hit attack. But in the end, the Knights get it done and now hope to get on what they're more accustomed to in this league, namely a winning streak rather than a losing one. And that's step 1 here tonight with a 6-5 win. The drone show tomorrow night, 7 o'clock airtime, 7:15 first pitch. That's going to do it for tonight. Want to thank all of you for joining us, for Everett Barty, Brian Thomas, Haley Lupe, and Becky Swanson bringing an article on for Kellen Siegel, about Kellen Siegel before the game, for Evan and Angie and Kai and Son Yi and Aiden, and for all of you tuning our way. This is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us. The Knights win and break the losing streak. Again, our final score, the Knights 6 and Edmonton 5. See you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock back on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. So long, everybody.